Yeah, the one next to the bridge.
I know, but
and I looked everywhere, and there happened to be a litter right here in Hialeah.
yeah, you heard me the mayor.
Because they call probably
Brooke is also with residents, yes.
We're on time. I mean, okay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're perfectly on time.
Evaluating as part of every roadway project.
Okay.
So that is something that, as part of every project, regardless if it's just a milling resurfacing maintenance project, we have to evaluate.
I'm sorry, what did you say the law was about the bikes?
Now, bicycle lanes need to be evaluated as part of every roadway.
Right, because bikes have the right of way on the city,
well-
on the roads.
So bicycle lanes,
Then that's a Florida statute you're saying?
Hi, how are you?
To be evaluated, okay.
Yeah, but isn't there required, maybe you can answer that, within 500 feet, people that live there have to be notified if there's changes to the street, like for example, the bike paths on Sevilla. Weren't the people right next door to Sevilla, wouldn't they have to have been notified?
So there is a notification process that we followed, and we're full compliance with that notification process. Everybody received within a 50, actually we went out even further. 1,500 mail.
Okay, I'm not talking about here, I'm talking about the one that was done on Sevilla, the bike
That
path.
was before my time.
Okay. Desiree, she lives right next door to, she's on Alhambra, right next to Sevilla. She was never notified about that bike path on Sevilla. Nor her neighbor. 2 years ago?
No, it's got to be more than that.
3. Okay. Nor have her neighbors been notified.
We're notified of that bike path on Sevilla. It blossomed one morning. It just blossomed.
That was under previous management.
But we're always
But there's
able
still-
to get extension.
Yeah, I'm not blaming you, but you
I don't know what
understand.
happened.
Certain things.
I could look into
Hi,
it.
how are you?
Changes. We can always ask for extension.
And you know what's funny? More cars, vehicles use that bike lane than cyclists. Because when there is heavy congestion of traffic that gets all the way from the Biltmore Hotel to the light on 57, they will use that bike lane to cut through because they don't want to wait.
Identified.
So
I've seen it.
You've seen it. My address is 2715 Alhambra Circle.
Have a grant. As part of this process, we may realize that when
And your question is
My
how?
question is
done, so that may
information on the Sevilla bike
further
path.
we want to
Just like there was an oak tree that was planted right after Hurricane Andrew on Sevilla. A 30-year-old oak was transferred for that bike path, and within a week it died.
So right, this is a collective. The city commission approved the construction of sidewalks.
I'm also concerned about something else. My husband's not here, but he's very concerned that with less greenery, the accumulation of water on asphalt, we already have an immense problem. Every time it rains, my house becomes the Venetian pool for about 3 or 4 hours. So with more asphalt and less greenery, what is going to happen with that water?
That's a very good question, and what I can tell you is that a lot of the problems that we have right now in swales, in terms of what you're telling me,
I don't know,
indicates
that's,
that
where's
we
the
have water
consultant?
collection on your sidewalks,
It goes right into my
your
property.
driveway and into your property. So I don't know where the pretty sure that if I go visit you looking for,
Yeah, that'd be great if we could
I will
talk
see
to them.
something like this. With us. They're part of the group.
Can somebody call them, because they keep telling us that they're behind us or in front of us, and I don't know where they are. The consultants,
They're behind.
can they come with us and ask questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm speak to the
You have to
consultant.
vote.
Yeah.
So maybe we need that. But
That'd be
also
great
what
if-
happens quite a bit is that you see how you have the Chronic Road?
Yes. Because they're the ones who are developing the project, right?
Drains into
They're the ones who are
swale.
developing the concept and everything.
Swale's supposed to
They didn't recognize you
but
without.
if the swale is built up and there's like a berm,
Yeah, that's why it's
what
good
happens is that water is going to run along the edge of pavement find the little spot.
I think they went
Because
to
you're with the city public works, right?
I am the city landscape architect.
Okay, great. I'm Sylvia.
We'll look at your
Yeah.
house and see what we
Oh, wonderful.
do, but I have a feeling that that's
Great.
what happens. So what happens is over the course of time,
What's your name?
you add sod and you add sod and you add sod, and while you're doing that, you're raising the level
No,
of
I
the
just want to
soil.
talk to the
And
consultants.
you're creating like a little band at the edge of the cave.
It's Kimley Horn, right? Or-
Well, that is a
But
serious
it's
concern.
yeah, but if it's possible that since you're at a low point, maybe
Do you know their names? Any one name?
there are abilities
No?
to do that.
A lot is possible.
There's a
Do you-
Kimley Horn,
You're right.
Stuart
Your name?
Stuart
Is it here?
Robertson.
Uh-huh.
No, let me ask the names. I'll have to ask from Jessica.
No, I just somebody so we know who's here from there.
my last
'Cause
name
I
is
haven't seen them.
They went together. Jessica's in the car going together.
Oh, good. Oh, great.
I'll be back. They went
I'm
together.
in.
Oh, maybe they would have brought me a water.
I asked for it.
I asked for water too. I know.
This is the second. We're just waiting for the second leg to begin. So
said
this was the break time. They went on break with their water and come back to start this.
Okay, great. Maybe. Great.
So that's
Good
why
job.
we're waiting.
We had 37 returns.
Here they are. Here the consultants.
Okay, great. Great. Thanks.
The consultants are here.
That house was so oh my God, my little what's your name again? Oh, the first room. Yeah.
Desiree, any other questions?
I have a million, but we'll just have to wait.
I'll be happy to answer.
We're very concerned. This is historical to get input from us, or okay, because everything is at the planning stage. We've already been affected by them closing the whole
And we get more traffic. So, by less, we're just concerned about the length, the width of the street for the vehicles. Then bikers. It'd be great. It'd be great if it were just the residents of Coral Gables using these streets, but it's not. It's people coming in and they're speeding, and I highly doubt that they are going to have the consideration and the heart to say, "Oh, there's a bike path. Let me be more respectful." It's not going to happen.
There's always going to be side issues, you know.
Has
And
there been a study?
I can tell you that when I drive, let's say in Pinecrest or on Key Biscayne, I drive the same way I drive in.
You drive the
in
same way
Gables
everywhere you
because,
drive.
Because I'm
that's who you
respectful,
are.
right? Exactly.
And you'll drive like that anyway. But I have another question for you. Has there been a study on how many cyclists actually use Alhambra compared to the cyclists that use the 57th Avenue bypass?
I don't know if there has been such a study, but we can get an idea as to ridership.
And has there been some study on the environmental impact on the road and to the homes and the swales and the trees? Environmental, okay, we have wildlife, our trees. Has there been any study that reflects what the impact will be?
So in terms of the trees, the idea is to minimize impact on trees and reduce impact. There are several ways of doing it. Am I going to tell you that we're not going to remove any trees? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you're being honest, but you must understand that we all live on this street, and the ones that will be impacted by any unintended consequence forever is us. Maybe we'll have
That's why
cyclists.
we're here.
It's serious. And we don't want to lose the appeal of the area. So, what I don't understand is if the meeting was September 25th, initially the vote was supposed to be November 4th. That was not even 6 weeks for us to really assimilate and take in what was happening. Why the importance to vote November 4th?
So we wanted to get it in ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday and recently there have been some residents that expressed their concerns with the compressed schedule, so we extended it again. We want to work with the residents, we want to do it in a transparent manner, that's why we're here. Everything is being recorded, videotaped, all being documented. We want you folks to feel comfortable when you're making a decision to get forward sometime next year, probably.
You know, this is not against the city, we're just very concerned. And I know you've tried this on other streets. I know that this has been attempted on other streets and it did not work.
We never got to this point on the other streets.
You never got to review it.
We never got to this point where we were having this kind of engagement. So we want to be able to put the information out there.
Oh, yeah, because they're
It's not my call to make.
But you
I
understand.
understand that. And some people feel that they're being.
Hi everyone.
That 57
If you're new to the, it's after 10 o'clock, and this is the second checkpoint. If you're new to the walkthrough, everyone who's wearing a vest.
I get it now.
Wait, here. Everyone who's wearing a vest is part of the design team, and the intent of this walkthrough, one is for the design team to meet with property owners, also to take a look at each individual location. So, for example, if you live in this house here, we want to shoot. How wide is the side?
8 feet, I already measured it.
Okay.
Give or take an inch.
Wait.
It's already done.
Done.
Good example. Good example.
Okay, so this is a great example. So, what we have two options. If you were at the community meeting, at that point in time, we had one option, and that option included, it was bike lanes. So the roadway travel lanes would be narrowed to 10 feet wide, instead of what the current width is, and you would have a 5-foot bike lane adjacent to it. After talking with property owners, we came up with another option, and that option is to have 2 8-foot shared use paths, and this is 8 feet wide. So this is an example of what that shared use, the size of that shared use path would be. In addition, at this particular location, because we already have the 8 feet wide, the roadway, assuming this is 24 feet wide, the grass would be, you have more swale added, so it would be additional green space. Now this would exist on both sides of the road, because this would be a, yes. So if you were riding a bike and you were headed southbound, you want to be on the right side of the road, just like if you were driving a car. So people who are southbound would be coming here. It would be painted. You'd have the marking on there that would tell you which direction to go. And so this would be here, and on the other side of the street, and the roadway would be there with additional.
The payment is 25 and a half feet, give or take.
25 and a half?
Give or take.
So you would get a little over 2 feet on each side.
Why would you even need to narrow the street if you don't need to take swale?
Because it slows people down. When you have narrow roadways, it slows people down.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I
you're gonna
question that data still.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you're going to put bike lanes.
Send me your email, I'll help you with that.
Do you have a study on this?
You do? Yeah. But the study, the results only
People that
show
ride on the
4%
street now are going to have to be in a travel lane that's 10 feet, right?
Correct. You would take the lane.
You're going to take the lane. You're going to put a share and say you did.
No.
Shared use path. 4%
On each side of the street.
He's talking about
No, I understand.
He's saying
this is not a protected bike path, guys. Let's understand that. It's a shared use.
But
path.
if you want to, if you're riding for exercise and you want to go like
Right.
23 miles an hour, you're going to ride on.
ride in the street.
You're going to ride in the street.
Yes.
Which makes it.
Okay,
more
so then why
dangerous
would we have
for
2 bike paths, one here and one there?
Because there's really fast cyclists who are athletes and are confident and are comfortable riding with traffic,
Right.
and that's like 4% of the people. And then there's like a lot of other people, maybe 60% of the population is interested in riding but concerned about their safety, sharing the lane with traffic, and they want to be in a protected spot.
But do they want to be right next to a pedestrian? Wasn't that
shared-
one of the questions before, that bikers did not want to be on the same pathway?
there are-
Because in Coral
everyone-
Gables, from what I understand, the only place that bikers are not allowed is Miracle Mile.
On the sidewalks. That's correct.
Exactly. So what you're proposing is what we presently have.
And this particular, yes, in this particular
case.
location, yes.
At this location.
Yes. Okay, let's move.
So what happens over here, because we're...
here, the 2 options that we promised, right? So,
My trees are right smack in the middle of the greenery.
So,
Well, not my trees.
that sidewalk is wider. So what would happen is, I don't know who has the tape measure, but from here.
Yeah, it is.
Who has the paint?
8 feet put to here.
So what happens to this tree?
So we have our landscape professionals somewhere.
Dina, what happens to this tree if we widen the sidewalk?
Okay.
Through here.
Sidewalks can meander, sidewalks can, you know, be cut around tree roots.
This is also a bike path.
It's a share use path.
Yes. We're gonna look at each tree. Individual paths do not have to be perfectly straight. In some cases, they might jog. In certain cases, they might be a few inches narrower to accommodate tree roots. We're gonna protect the tree.
And the areas on the roof, I think there's certain materials that can be added.
There are different
So
materials
that-
other than poured concrete
Right.
we're going to investigate that are more flexible to go over tree roots. Flags of sidewalks can be raised up and mounted over tree roots. We can do all kinds of things.
Let me ask you a question if you don't mind. There's an oak tree, the Bird Road, that's right on the street. This thing's been there probably 70 years. I care about preserving the canopy and everything. How are you going to deal with that one? That's like right on there.
We're going to look
With a bike
at
path.
Can we look at it?
Well, I want to know about your
Yeah,
side.
I-
Because you have those trees there.
Can you tell us how our
Yeah.
side's gonna be?
Yeah, because she has,
I mean, we just put in that expensive cobblestone historic driveway, because our home's historic.
yeah.
So with the driveway to the right of what is the public right of way, the swale, so obviously certain areas the path will cut through the paving, right?
If depending on which way it goes, whether it is the widening to put the bike lanes on the pavement or the path on the side, yes, there will be
But
some.
you're only giving us 2 options. The third option is we don't want it at all, right? Am I correct there?
Well,
That is a third option,
I mean,
right?
I
That is the
mean,
third
I guess
option.
potentially. I mean, as it stands right now, it's funded. We're going through the process, but
Okay, but that is a third
You know,
option. We
is
don't
the
want it.
funding include maintenance down the road? Because there's areas of sidewalk where the tree roots grow underneath and no one's taking care of them. You know, this whole entire section from here to Bird Road, none of the lights work.
Yeah.
It's totally
numerous
dark.
So have I.
You know, Coral Gables doesn't take care of what we have.
okay. So the way our code is written right now, the maintenance of sidewalk is the responsibility of the property owner, unless it's damaged by our trees. So if it's something to do with these trees, then yours should be addressing them. I did notice a few areas where we're grinding them down. If we find a location now that needs to be taken care of, we will make sure that that does happen.
And what about the big garbage and the crane?
The big,
on
I'm sorry, what?
10-foot big garbage trucks and the crane pickup on a 10-foot narrower street?
Yeah, we do that.
And then you have bikers. I mean, there's
that's
going
what-
to be an accident. My husband and I are in medical field, so we're just waiting for the first person to get killed. And so then they'll happen in front of our house, and then they sue everybody.
The bicycles are already here. They're already having bicycles passing by,
But not too often it's going to do that.
and but that is going to increase. I mean, that's because that has been independence.
But there's
So
a bike path on Red Road.
nobody uses that because
So why
Why
don't
are
you
they
make
going to
it
use this
better?
one if they don't use
Why
that
not?
one?
it's too dangerous.
This is dangerous too. The cars
Why
pass
is the
through here.
opposite? This is where
This is, I mean, we've seen nothing but
Look at the
traffic.
one that's on Alhambra north of Coral Way. No one uses that as well.
it's not connected anywhere.
What do you want to
No,
connect it?
it goes to all the way.
Ultimately, the underline.
Okay, but the 57th Avenue
Goes
will
right to
take
the
you to the
underline.
underline.
Nobody's gonna use that. It's too
What's
dangerous.
too dangerous?
Too dangerous from what? Traffic.
Then why did they put it?
It's a state road.
Yeah, DOT did a state road. It's 35.
So, I mean, did anyone think about that before they
But
put it
this is a
in?
30 mile, so what's the
see,
difference,
so-
35
so
versus 30?
This is the way that DOT operates, right? DOT is governed in the state of Florida, in Tallahassee. The secretary takes input from his experts, and then they decide to do certain policies. One of the policies that they've adopted is complete streets. So every state project that they do of a certain nature has to include bicycle infrastructure. That's why 57th Avenue has bicycle.
This lady here was just saying that the city cut the roots of the trees and it caused an unstable tree and it fell onto her home.
We do not want to disturb these trees. We analyze each and every tree on a case by case basis.
And you know what? The state can mandate whatever they want here. In the city of Gables, if the residents don't want it, it won't happen. Remember Riviera.
Yes, ma'am.
Ed, since you say the narrowing streets is a traffic calming method to decrease speed, how many streets in Coral Gables have been narrowed? How come and we know speeding is an issue on every street in Coral Gables, or almost every street. How come the city has not implemented this throughout the city?
There have been a number of streets that have been narrowed. There have been geometric changes to narrow the pavement to create choke points so vehicles slow down. I don't know them off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that data, remember?
Yeah, and you'll get it.
Eventually, wait 2 years, I'm waiting for something.
And so,
I've given her the
We have two options, and one of them is
But
like,
if it was a valid traffic calming method, you would implement it more, okay? Because you're constantly resurfacing streets. This would be a perfect opportunity to narrow all the streets. Okay? Why don't you do it? Because the data shows, and this is the data from your consultants, it only decreases the speed by 4%. We've been told that on Alhambra Circle, the average speed is 37 miles per hour. 37 times 4% is 1.48. That means by implementing this decrease thing, it's only going to decrease the speed by 1.5 miles. Who would be stupid enough to do that for 1.5 miles? And that's based on your data, not my data.
well, I have not seen the data.
Okay, well, ask your consultant for the data. Okay?
There's another question that you asked about the language in other areas.
Okay.
As it relates to traffic calming citywide. It's a process.
I know that, yeah. But you see all these changes you want to do to our street, okay? So this is what we are upset about.
This is why we're discussing it.
All right, so center of the road is the center of the road. Let's see how wide it is.
We have a little bit over 12 feet, almost 13.
In one option,
Over 12? Yeah, by my house it's 10.
in one option,
What do you want to do?
we're going to go here now. So in one option, this would come out 2 feet, so you'd get more green space here, 2 feet of green space. So the edge of road would be here.
And where's the bike path?
And so the
That's option one.
this is but at the property line, which I don't know where your property line is.
It's actually almost at the water.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'll just say,
Hi.
Morning. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
I'm so worried about your landscape.
What are they doing?
Assuming that this is property line.
so when you
I don't think that's right.
When you say more green, you would take all this green space away.
It says that I'm thinking hold on. I gotta roll through right. This is what is the right of way here?
Yeah, no, that's some guy's fixing my other car. Property's on there.
He says that the property line is at the hedge.
At the hedge?
Is that the hedge?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Wait, who said that? You said that? Oh, you said
we
that.
have the plan,
Oh,
too.
okay, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, it's at the hedge. So the property line is at the hedge.
Really? No, I don't think it is.
Wow.
The monument.
Wow.
The monument is.
What is it right away? It's like a 20 feet or 30 feet? Wait, the design.
This is 60 foot right away, I think.
Oh, it's 60 feet.
What are they going to do with all the side streets with the
70.
bike path?
It's 70?
7.
After being hit by a car on a bike,
In the back of that sidewalk.
bike paths don't make the biker safer, especially if you have all these cross streets where the cars come out all the time.
Okay, all right, so this would be the shared use path here.
Well-
So if this one, the shared use path option.
If you did an option, what would it be if it's a regular sidewalk?
If it's a regular sidewalk,
It would be where?
6 feet.
So which is right there, and you would kill less than swale, and you could go 1 foot from
So
the
you
other
would
side.
be coming.
That's
One
amazing.
front, yeah.
If they even choose it at all. Remember, there is a third option.
What's the third option?
Third option is not to have it at all.
What's going to happen to these trees?
I'm sorry?
Those 2 trees?
Well,
they stay?
that's
Okay,
to
so
me one of the things
I
I
would,
question
Arlene,
is
here you go.
Here I am.
She's the expert
We
on
can
this.
meander the
Oh,
path.
yes, I
Path does
agree.
not have to
So
be
please
straight shot.
Speak to
Well,
your
that's a
governor, your
guarantee.
mayor, whatever. Send
No,
them
I
letters.
I didn't realize it was just
A guarantee in writing by the
And
city.
protect especially.
Is it a guarantee in writing by the city?
I mean, I'm
No,
Yes,
question,
will
is it
be
or not?
Into the drawings, yes. Into the
Guaranteed,
contract
100%.
documents.
And if one
Into
tree
the
dies,
contract
you
documents
destroy
that
everything.
you'll be able to review.
Break it all up, huh? Oh, come on, if you guys know what you're doing, you're willing to run that risk.
No, what we can
Life
tell
is
you is
about
we're-
risk,
I can-
business is about risk,
Rocky,
too.
it is Rocky. What I can tell you is we're looking at things case by case.
Yeah.
And
Don't
we're gonna-
look at, don't talk to me like a politician. Tell me, you guys gonna kill anything on trees or not?
No. if there's a tree like dead in the
Yeah.
center of the path, then we cannot move around it. There's no way to meander around
And
it.
it's an
We'll
unhealthy tree.
evaluate it to relocate it to decide
Oof.
and save it.
Trees
If
like
it's
that don't
healthy.
survive.
If it's healthy.
Only palms, big palms, I know.
We have
You know
other
that.
choices. We've already had, we've got
Yeah.
so many people looking at
I've relocated trees. And I've had those.
We're hiring our own arborists.
We'll, I'm an artist, so
Okay.
we'll be working with the
Communicate.
design team all the way through.
All right.
It's like a multi-year.
Yeah, here's the timeline. Just the concept timeline. Right now, it's so early. Designing the train. Construction begins.
You know, too bad, because I go by here all the time and cars are
Foot travel lanes. Right now we have, these travel lanes are 12 and a half feet.
Cars don't care.
So when you narrow travel lanes for
Not all of them.
drive slower. Okay. And so then we would add a 5-foot bike and then 6-foot sidewalks on each side of the street. When we were talking with the residents, they had concerns about widening the pavement, the overall pavement. Okay, so we came up with another option, which would be that we would add green space out. You get that narrow lane effect, so you would go add 2 feet of green space there, and then it would have 2 shared use paths. So this sidewalk is 6 feet. It would go to 8 feet on each side.
The extra footage would come into the swale.
Yes. And so, really, the swale in this section, the width remains the same. And so, that's an 8 foot.
Okay, so that's what you're looking at
Yes.
with the new.
And it would be on both sides of the street. I don't know if you're good at the Country Club Prado.
Yep.
That.
Okay.
So,
I think we like it generally, though we have specific questions about our process.
Yeah.
Because
All right.
ours is not situated.
Houses on our block tend to be are closer to the street than these are for sure.
Well, we can.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah, I think we're near the end of the route here. So
Oh, okay.
we'll tag along.
Those
And
amount were very weak.
I think,
And then, so whatever you construct.
are we
It was only in a certain area that it was.
are we good for Russell? Ready for walk?
Yes. No, wait. I wouldn't just look.
Because we're just
Well, there's still that option. But the other one is a shared 8 feet. But the thing that's crazy is you've narrowed the street to 10. So that means you're a drive too.
I use the phone to talk or to get emails. If I'm on the road or somewhere, I want to get emails in the meeting, I want to see you.
I did. She did. I did. We live right across the street. And she has been on this street how long, Betsy?
Well, in my house right now for 41 years, but then I grew up down the street, and where my brother is.
Yep. But yeah, you guys are definitely impacted.
Hermes.
Yes.
Let's look at what happens here.
All right. Where are the plans?
They're figuring out.
We're gonna get killed. Because the whole purpose of narrowing the street is to slow you down. Now you have the serious biker. That doesn't make sense.
And that
No,
was not on a
someone
shared use
said,
path.
no.
You know, also,
The serious bikers, we were told, would go on the street. So how are you going to have a serious biker who's going whatever 23 miles an hour and you're driving slower because your street is narrower?
Right, that's exactly, yeah, that's an existing condition.
So here, the property line is.
Right, so like San Rafael is but ours, where are you right now? Like all the way to the colegas that.
Well, right.
Water right.
If you're, you should sign in. We have multiple running around.
Sign-in sheet? Sign-in sheet? Vino para use my bicycle. Shit like this.
So we need your,
I recently had an accident, so that's why I really.
This is wonderful.
Put it on the property. Yeah, this is the property. It goes all the way down now.
Sylvia, did you see that? This is where the sidewalk will go?
The sidewalk or the bike path? Okay. Well, if they need water, they can just shower. So the sort of the ambiance, historic nature.
You're at Toronto Prado. I'm sorry.
The one with the big thing in the middle?
Country Club Prado?
Yeah, but they've got the big thing in the middle and it's one way.
There are other areas in the city that have sidewalks.
I have a 2-year-old. How old is he? How come the website lets you vote yes, but does not let you vote no?
No, he's at.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. It should give feedback both ways. I did. I went under comments and put my negative comments.
Right, and so people can vote for your negative comments.
Okay, but it should not be that way. We should give you the ability to vote either way. I just want to
I really appreciate the effort of these people because if they don't do anything, I ride my bike.
I mean,
I'm always.
Okay, where do you live?
There's a lot of.
Oh, on a side street. Okay. So it makes a big difference if this is your property and they're taking away swale. That's, you know,
This is part of the public right of way.
oh, I understand that,
It's not part of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We're not taking away part
I
of it.
understand that, yeah. But remember, I'm gonna have to maintain that sidewalk just like I maintain that swale. Okay?
Okay, so there's multiple options. So this option here is a bike lane adjacent to the road. And this option here is a shared use path on each side. So you have 8 feet on both sides of the street. So if you were going north,
Wonderful, both ideas I like.
all right, thank you for coming today.
Where's the can? Give us spray? No one brought it?
Don't worry about it. So that you can scare them.
The same as you did on the other side. The street was going to be wider because I wrote it down. And the street will not be wider.
The street will be wider.
No,
on the
but,
other
but
side.
some of it will be for something else.
But you're scaring her, telling her the
That's
sidewalk is going to go
exactly
there, and
what
that's
you're
not
doing.
true.
You don't live around
But that's not true. You don't live here.
Oh, the same as you don't.
No, I live 100
And I
feet
live
from
right
the.
over off Alhambra, so.
And you
I was
use
one of
the
ones that
street
got
all the
letter.
time.
I don't get, that's right, every day.
And I've seen you walking through here.
Every day.
Did you
No,
walk
I
through
don't
here?
walk. I believe in riding cars.
Exactly.
Cars, C-A-R-S. That's why I own one, because I ride cars.
You don't care about people that have to walk in the street?
Excuse me, people, my husband walks.
You don't care about people with
My husband
wheelchairs
walks,
that have to walk in the street?
But I came to this country to decide what I want. I don't want the state to decide what I want. If I wanted that, I would live in China, Russia, Cuba. Here, the people that pay the taxes decide what they want on their streets.
But you don't even live on the street though, right?
Excuse me?
You don't live on
Obviously,
the
I'm
street,
one of the
right?
ones that will vote because I get the letter.
But you shouldn't scare people into telling them the sidewalk is going to go where it's
You should not be lying to them either.
No, I'm not
You're
lying to
going to prune
anybody.
the roots and the trees
That's
will be
not
fine.
true.
Except that
You're lying
on
to people.
Miller, the roots were pruned and the tree fell on top of my house.
You're lying to people.
Just so don't lie.
All right.
Don't lie.
When we see the rent.
Waiting for you. Brian, look, she just starts loud talking to me and tells people that the sidewalk is going to go up against her house, which is a lie. All they're measuring is where the right of way is.
I just asked her she's walking away. She doesn't want to. She's trying to walk away. She doesn't want to.
Oh.
There were only 2 people who did not live in the city, though. Have the actual list, but it was only 3 people who didn't live in the city.
That spoke.
That's Jessica. Jessica, this is Mike Clary.
Jessica, hi.
Oh,
I've
hey,
been
Mike.
chasing you for the last week.
Yes, you have.
And Ed jumped in. Helped me out. So. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I did
you.
see you at the September meeting out there.
Oh, okay, great.
All right, you want to keep moving?
Yeah.
That's correct, but we pay the taxes for the city. So do I. Okay.
So
Then
we all pay taxes.
Why don't you
It's
do
all
up your
our property.
bikeway in front of your house?
I wish there was.
Well, ask for it. I'll
That's-
help
we
you.
got to start somewhere.
Get it. Yeah, Riviera was the start, and guess what? The people didn't want it,
That was a
and was
mistake
not.
by the city.
Okay. And
No, it
this
was a
will be the
mistake
second
to listen
mistake.
to people who live there, because we all pay taxes.
Okay.
Why don't you use Red Bull?
Yeah, it's there.
I use it. You know
Well,
what?
then what's
Very
wrong?
dangerous. You know why?
Really?
Well, that city did that.
No, the state. Worse
Or
yet.
the state. Well,
Worse
And that's
yet.
why we need something safe
Yeah.
for those of us that don't want to be on that street.
Walk away?
No,
It's
this
not a
is
block
so-
away, it's fast traffic. The
This
traffic
is,
moves 40,
this
50
is so
miles an hour.
people that don't live
Creating
in
a
the
mess
city
for
can come and see the beautiful city we have.
Okay, you
If
see,
you remember, that's what the South Miami lady said. You do not realize how beautiful your city is. Why do you encourage people
Do it
to
in
come
Granada.
right here?
Do it in Granada.
That's right. Hey, that's such a good idea. Why don't we do it in
Granada also
Granada?
needs it, but we need it
Well,
here also.
Granada is bigger than
I
this.
just came up from Homestead all the way through here.
Oh my God, from Homestead.
Yeah, and I live in this
Okay.
area.
Yeah, Granada is bigger.
This goes straight to US line.
Granada, so those US, so those
US one,
57 57th Avenue. So those 57th Avenue.
But you have to understand, you don't own this out here. The city
Absolutely.
does. All of
the
us
city
do.
is us.
All of us
We
do.
are the city.
And
We
so am
pay
I.
the taxes.
So do
Please
we.
don't tell me the city you don't own it. Yes, we do.
Everybody owns it.
Exactly.
All the residents do. So
That's correct.
We
We
order
are the
it.
city.
We order it.
are the city.
This doesn't belong to you.
We are
This
the
belongs
city.
to
Don't tell
all
me
of
I'm not
us.
the city. We are the city. And you know what?
So are
We're the
we.
ones that pay the taxes,
And
that
so do
pay the
I.
employees. That's
So do
okay. I
I.
didn't tell you this was not yours.
I would like to
I
have
didn't tell.
bike lane
Do
right
it in
here,
front of your house
along
first.
with
Be
a
a good
sidewalk.
example.
So when I take my
Be
kid,
a good example.
when
Do it in front of your
when
house
you
first.
walk your kids in the stroller, you don't
Yes.
have to get out in the street.
Well, you know what? When I walk my kids, I do not worry about this because
walk on
my
this and
street will
twist
say,
your ankle?
today I was driving here and there was a bicyclist in front of me
And you wouldn't
that
be safe
didn't
in
know
the
the
bike lane.
rules. Well, wait a second. No, she had the whole lane because the state says she can ride the whole
Yeah,
lane.
we move it on.
Instead, she went across the street against the light, went the wrong way, and then ran the light.
They can do.
Okay.
When you have a bike lane, the law requires you to stay in the bike lane,
Well,
so that gets it out of your way.
The law also gives you the whole lane.
All the city officials?
Yes,
I did, thank you. I think we're going to be going forward if you want to join us. Melissa! Melissa!
Male parts. He's a nasty guy. I'm not afraid of him.
You're going to edit that, right?
I think that's what George Merrick would. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna be wandering around going, so
Here we would have to.
here comes is the owner.
You were trying to say here you'd have to what?
We'd have to look at this very, very hard. Just to
Because of the roof.
And what are the options?
I don't know if you can maybe land here and come back. And over here we use a different material. That would be more beneficial to the roots.
Because these roots are very extensive.
They're very extensive and they're at the surface. So this is a case that we have to really look at. And the driveway here kind of makes this a little bit.
Okay, Janet,
Right.
that's it.
Yeah.
So the idea is obviously to preserve the canopy, which is
Let's
really
know.
okay.
Let's go over there.
But you're talking about potentially like looping the sidewalk around
Yeah,
up in front.
meandering and moving around. You realize that there's a lot of stuff to reconcile in terms of
And we know the city cares about preserving the trees. There.
So we have 38,000 trees.
Yes.
That's not good for the trees. Nailing things to the trees, definitely not good for the trees.
Take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Are you shooting for the city? Sorry? Are you shooting for the city? Yes, sir. So it'll get posted then?
I don't know if it's going to get posted or they're just documenting.
I see.
This particular property, this is what we're gonna do.
So, you have to get.
Yeah, I know. I'm like in not like a specific date, but in terms of the timeline of
So
like.
you can see the bottom there of your. We have a timeline there. So you would be.
I think for the most part, it's intended to be on both
website. But in some areas, it won't be.
It's possible that there may be some difficulties.
Hi, Marvin.
Hi there.
Sue Kavalerski from the TAB.
Hi.
I met you. I missed my because there's the big. Never too late. No. Keep us all.
So you're going to see a more specific approach.
I don't know, you met him the other day.
Marvin.
That's Marvin. Yeah, Marvin.
How are you?
Right over the bridge.
Nice to see you again. I saw you at the.
Sorry, I'm not dressed right.
That's quite all right. I don't know.
Consultants here that they can explain to him.
Who are the consultants? Who are the consultants?
Here's the consultant right here. Jackie, you want to step forward and explain what's going to happen on his property?
I'm not sure what they are.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
This is the consultant here.
Hi. Hi, Jackie. It's nice to meet you. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hi, everyone. My name is Marvin Friedman, and I live here. First of all, are any of you thirsty? We have some cold water.
No, thanks. I drink rum only.
It's so hot. Yeah. Sure. You're not carrying water, I see.
I have in my car. I'm not a
And it's awfully hot out here.
You mind if I get one? I'll get one.
Anybody that would like some cold water, you're welcome to take it. You know, first of all, let me just say that I am not against bike paths. I am not against bikers, and I think it's nice that the safe areas are provided for bikers. But what is happening here is really potentially catastrophic. I would like all of you to please just look up and down the street here. Look at the canopy, which is something that Coral Gables prides itself on. As a matter of fact, in the Coral Gables magazine, they always have percentage of canopy compared with other communities. In addition, look at these beautiful trees. Another thing that the City Beautiful prides itself on, and again, when you get the Coral Gables magazine, you are going to see how many trees precisely to the number. Now, this is a very well-traveled street down and through the heart of the Coral Gables Historical District. For something to be done on this street that is being proposed is nothing more and nothing less than an absolute tragedy. It is catastrophic. Now, the people that have proposed this, I've heard a couple of different songs. They changed verbally how far they're going to go in. But let's talk about this street. From what I understand, they want to narrow this street. This is a really well-traveled street. Narrowing this street is going to cause substantial additional traffic problems. It's going to cause accidents and injuries. And the mere idea of it is insanity. I like bike paths. Bike paths are good. We have a bike path 1 block away up and down Red Road. So why are they even thinking about doing this? Before I get to why they're thinking about doing this, I'd like to point out a couple of other things. They say they're going to root prune our trees. You will note that this is new sidewalk recently put in. The reason it was put in is because these trees broke up the sidewalk in all these places where you see a different color. So I called Coral Gables to thank you. Coral Gables came in, they replaced it. I was afraid somebody was going to break their neck stepping on it. They put a bike path in here. These trees, and leave the trees, several problems. Number one, they talk about root pruning the trees. We will have arborists who will make clear that root pruning these trees is very dangerous. We're going to lose them. And if we do not lose them, the first storm that comes along they're going to go over. I root pruned a tree in my yard because it was interfering with the outside air conditioning. We had a little and I mean moderately root pruned it. We had a little wind, one of the storms, it went right over.
So
that
Marvin,
tree, let me finish.
Sure.
That tree, look at that. Look at those beautiful roots. They can't root prune that tree without destroying it. Now I know not every tree is right in the path of this proposed bicycle path, but every tree is going to be affected, and it's going to be affected not in a good way. Next item on the agenda, parking. People that live on Alhambra Circle, their swale is the only place they have to park vehicles. If they're having a family event, a family party, or a big, I happen to have parties for organizations in which I am involved, okay? And they park up and down here. All of these people,
Marvin,
you let me finish.
Excuse me.
I'm not happy to listen to you.
No, yes, but the thing is that we have to keep this moving. And the reason for this event is to explain to you what's happening in front of your property. We've already heard your concerns. I know you want to get them out to the public. That's more.
You gotta let him speak.
You gotta let me speak.
If it takes a little longer, it doesn't matter.
You gotta let me speak, okay? The people here are gonna lose their parking. They're not gonna be able to have people in their home. That's where they're gonna pull right up, to their front doorway on their lawn. Another thing, service vehicles. We're not gonna get anybody to cut our grass because they come in big trucks. They have to either pull up on the swale or in the street. There's going to be no room for the service vehicles. Another thing is that even the Federal Express trucks or anybody that comes by here. So at the end of the day, what we have is a situation that is potentially catastrophic for the historical beauty of Coral Gables. There's absolutely no reason why this should be done. And I want to add that this was originally orchestrated with no input from no public.
None whatsoever.
No impact from the residents of Coral Gables.
That's not true. There was plenty of input.
There was zero input.
That's not
That
true,
man
sir.
was the only witness on the application to the Florida Department of
That's
Transportation.
not true. No, all we had was a support letter from a group. That's all. There was community input. Sue, where are you? There are plenty of people that were here.
People that were listed
So-
as stakeholders.
No,
All
no.
bike-related
No, Maria,
people.
nobody's talking to you.
Okay, let's not get.
Excuse me, the same way you interrupted him. I'm entitled
No,
to
I
talk.
need to say that the truth.
I'm
The
sorry,
truth is,
the
it was a
same
public
way
process.
The truth
You have
is
to
that
say the
you
truth.
you have a
The
vested
truth is,
interest in
no, I have no
this.
vested
You are the
interest.
only one.
Besides that, I use the street.
Let me finish.
You've already went on for like 10 minutes. Spewing lies that aren't true.
You folks want to hear me?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes, well, walk away.
I will.
Walk away.
I want to stay here. Well, if you're going to say lies, then there was no public process.
There was a public process.
There was a public
There
process.
was no public process.
Of course
in
there was.
2014. No, there wasn't.
Of course there was.
No, there wasn't. I looked at all the commission meetings.
There was commission meetings. There was a public meeting.
Okay, let me just finish up here, okay?
Go ahead. Oh,
the original
Listen to the
plan
residents.
when this was put through is inchoately flawed. There was no government in the sunshine.
Yes, there was.
There was
Can
no.
you not respond? Can you let him talk?
There was no due process.
He continues to lie.
Okay, there was no traffic study prior to submitting it. There was no arborist study. There was no study about the danger. It was just, and the residents were ignored. This will ultimately go to the commission. And I think when the commission is advised of what is going on, that they will unanimously vote against this. And if not, we'll have to end up in court because the denial of due process, and I don't want to waste Coral Gables' money. All right? Bike paths are great, not here.
Not in my front yard.
Well, it's not in your front yard, is it?
I wish there would be. That's fine. But do you really want to know? These people are here to tell you what it would affect your particular house. You want to learn?
General.
1 to 2 feet here. It's not going to affect your street. Your tree.
It's not about my house.
It is about your.
Not about my house. It is.
1 to 2 feet is not going to affect your tree.
Robert, they're not here to tell us. They're here to.
It's not going to kill the roots,
Marvin, they're
sir.
here to listen to the residents and how they feel. They're not only here to tell us what's going to happen. Aren't you here?
And they have.
It's a combination.
We have. The guy's been talking.
You don't work for the city.
Listen, please.
The
commission did this.
I am because you obviously you wrote that grant, did you not? Well, but it's riddled with inconsistency. There was no community input.
Yes, not the form.
Okay.
Not the form.
Thank you so very much.
We'll bring it up at other
So
forums.
can we show you where
By all
everything
means.
is?
Yes.
Yeah,
Would you
let's
like
show
to
you where
see?
everything is.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so in this particular, you have extra wide pavement here. So in this particular.
Wait, tell me about this one first.
We'll start here. So in this section, the swale would actually come out an additional, as an option, we have two options, an additional 3 feet on each side. So the green space would get wider out.
Where's the bicycle path?
So in the second option, here you have 6 feet wide right here, and this would become 8 feet wide. And this would be a shared space for people who walk and bike. That's one option.
And then the real
How about the
bikers,
sewers?
These
Where
get
do the sewers? Oh, they get moved?
They get relocated, yes, which is normal.
but Jessica, you need to tell them that the real bikers will go on the street still.
So the that's one the tree at the end. And the other option is the one that you well, you weren't at the community meeting, were you?
No, I never got, no, that's another thing. They had a meeting in September, and many people who live on Alhambra never got notice of that meeting. I opened my mail at this meeting at the transportation, said, oh, maybe you threw it away or didn't open it. I don't throw away my mail, and a lot of other people up and down the street here never received the notice. It was packed with people from outside the community, that meeting.
I never received the mail myself, I live right next door.
We sent out 1,500 mailers only for
Their trees. I don't want it to have
Well, you know what? I'm not sure that all of them were dropped in the mailbox because it is very hard for me to believe that that number of people did not get the mailer. I think it was selected to people on the side streets that shouldn't necessarily be receiving it anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good.
Anyhow,
thank you.
To the owners, not to the
So what's the second option? You didn't say the second option.
Okay, so
Thank you, man.
so what I just described, where the grass would come out further, that's the second option that was developed after we talked to
What happens to the street?
Well, the street becomes
Narrower?
20 feet wide,
How wide is it now?
26 and a half,
Does this,
which is very wide.
this is very dangerous. You want to narrow the street here. This is, it's going to cause accidents and it's dangerous. Slow down traffic. Why are you trying to sell this?
I'm just trying to do my job. We're all just here trying to do our
I
job.
understand
We're
that.
trying to inform the residents. That's what we're trying to do. Once you get into
This is bad for, not forget the residents, this is bad for Coral Gables. This is bad for the beauty of Coral Gables. Well, there are,
They don't agree with it. They would like to see the bicycle infrastructure.
on Alhambra Circle,
So
sure.
So the idea is to get your input. Your input.
You feel me?
I know your name.
Okay, let's talk about this tree right here. The ones you nailed, before you leave.
Say the same?
Before you leave, tell us about this tree.
The project moves forward. This tree will be looked at on a case-by-case basis, just like every other tree, right? And there will be an approach that will minimize the impact to this tree.
Impossible. Impossible. Look at the root system. Can't be done.
I don't know whether it can or can't be done. I don't know.
We're gonna have, I'm a certified arborist and a landscape architect that works for the city.
What's your name, please?
Dina Bell-Llewellyn. Nice to meet you.
You're a city employee.
Yes, I am. I am landscape services. We're going to be working with a team of arborists, evaluating every tree and every root through this process.
Well, I would hold off on that
paths
because
can
this is not going to happen.
I'll make sure.
This
We're
project.
just following the project.
This project.
If it doesn't happen, it'll be based.
Don't spend the money. Waste the time. And while you're doing this, of course.
I'm a city employee, so no money's being
No,
spent.
I'm
This is my job.
I'm talking about
We're not
my
getting
money.
paid overtime.
The city's
But we're not
money.
getting paid
But
overtime.
this is our job, so No extra
Barbara,
money of yours.
thank you for your time. Respect. Really, really.
Thank you.
We can have a discussion anytime you want. I'm happy to answer your questions. You know, I just want you to know that we are all just doing our job.
Right,
We were
okay.
given a mission.
All right.
This is part of our mission, and part of the mission involves public engagement, community engagement.
Thank
Based
you.
on that community
Hey, y'all, I
engagement.
think you're blocking traffic.
Marvin!
Look at this.
Thank you for the water.
Hey, Rocky. Marvin, how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, here's a witness protection.
I just didn't shave this morning. How you doing? This is my wife, Eliana.
Hi, nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
way to be.
I understand you're a Coral Gables employee now. Bless your
It looks
heart.
like it, right?
Oh, I didn't notice.
Do I look
Oye,
like
calmate la situación, gracias a Dios.
Anybody else want cold water? Regardless of what side you're on?
Beer?
No beer.
So he's anti-alcohol.
Yeah.
How do you do?
Sure.
Good, how about you? Liberal commie? Liberal commie? I mean,
10 a.m.
you could go to any. Look at her.
Did you get a chance to talk to her?
Yeah, I'm bringing back the team. So this is a special location.
Yeah, exactly. I talked to her yesterday.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
You tomorrow. Yes, for sure.
But we're looking at But in this case, adjacent to the bridge to avoid the impact to all these trees, we're proposing curb and gutter with a shared use path or sidewalk right behind the edge of the travel lane.
Right here.
Yeah.
So where's her
Adjacent
right of
to
way?
What's the address?
3430.
Sorry.
You're still here, Betsy?
I am. You can't get rid of me yet, Ed.
Right, is there a light pole here?
So it's about here.
Just about, yeah. In case it goes around.
I think this
A little bit difficult to tell.
It's almost where the trees are, the hedges. It's in front of you. Okay, so what happens with these trees here?
So they come up with a concept where it is at the edge of the road. So in order to avoid these trees.
Won't be on the property in this
Okay,
case.
so then where would people that come to visit her, where would they park? Where would service cars park if it's going to be right on the edge of the street?
Well, we have this corner lot here.
Yeah. So if that would only be somebody segment of the corridor,
It's an extension.
once it gets beyond this curve, this block, it would be a different.
Well, actually, this swale has been a real bone of contention with me because I used to try to keep grass here. Now, all the city trucks come, they park here.
Oh.
Anybody in the neighborhood who has construction, they park here. I mean, I'm forever having to redo it. It's a real pain in the neck. Because everybody says, oh, this is like, you know, when religious people from Utah come, there'll be a string of cars here every day.
Right.
You know, everybody parks here like it's a public parking
how
lot.
would
And I have a really hard time keeping grass out here.
Right.
This is just,
So that would avoid that.
we're just
Yes.
to see who wants it, who doesn't.
As long as they don't come up and ruin my trees.
Right.
And the arborists will come out tree by tree. So where would go the shared path?
How
It's on
far
the
away?
width of the road, and so the roots still would have to be pruned. So Dean, right now they're probably underneath the existing pavement. So if we widen at all, then
Alhambra needs something. It looks like it's never been.
Well, part of the project is
Yes.
include paving.
Because I went you would have the pavement of the plan, am I right?
Correct. That's what he said.
And I think what we'd like to express is that you don't know if that plan is going to go through. We're hoping that the bike paths will not be built, as you know, so this should have been paid.
And Sylvia, he's forgetting to tell you that in the city of Coral Gables, neighbors decide what they want, aka Riviera, okay? We have a voice.
if we do sidewalks and we narrow the pavement so it helps slow traffic, then that tears up the road as well.
And then we have newer data, but the thing is,
But we don't need to have the bike path.
So if we have the sidewalks, we don't need the bike paths.
Well, if you want the sidewalks, the neighbors decide.
those are just counting cars.
Yes. But they're not worried about that.
Water accumulates everywhere here. I mean, I got ducks going swimming in here, right? I mean, I'm talking about normal rain, not hurricane.
Yeah, that's right. Just subtract that, because that's not going to be.
Concerned that all of this is going in.
I absolutely understand. The city did,
And I do receive communications from the city, so they do have my email.
good. So we just, and can someone write down her email address and name? So.
Oh, do you have the sign-in sheet?
I do not.
Okay, let me get it from you.
It's just sign where if we don't have just sign it. Sure. So we mail over 1,200 properties. So we just 37 get returned. You may be one of the ones that was returned for some reason. We've had 37 returned, and we have your email today, so you will get all of the notifications about that. So we have two options that we are considering, and the first option is what was presented at the community meeting on the 25th, where the roadway. How wide is the from the center line?
The center line is going to be 15 foot.
Okay. So you have 15-foot lanes?
Oh no, just until the bike lane.
No. I want. What is the existing?
Oh, let's get the
lane
existing.
width?
Okay, sorry.
No.
Let's get the all the way to a little over 25.
Okay, so let's just assume. So that means it's 12.5-foot wide travel lane. We would narrow those travel lanes to 10 feet wide, which slows drivers down. The wider your lanes, the faster you go. So, like, example, on Interstate 95.
No, I understand that part. That
all right. So
I'm interested in what's going to happen.
Okay, so in one option, you would add 5-foot bike lanes. So if we are at
so from the 10th, you put 5. Okay, so that's 15.
And then there would be a sidewalk at the property line. But we would be going around trees because that's one of the very important parts of the project is that we do tree paths. And so that's very important to the city to make sure we maintain the tree counts. You see the signs on the trees up there? We are not. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands that.
So, but we would be losing some of the trees.
Yeah. There's a second option on here.
No, but I wasn't involved in it. No, he's asking me, no. There was a public process. Just because you weren't a part of it, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
I wasn't a part because I wasn't advised nor were any of the neighbors.
Yes.
So there was a public process without the public.
There was a public process for the, there's a public process for the master plan, folks. And that happened in 2014.
And it was
can I say?
fatally flawed.
Can I say something? There was at least 2 commission meetings. There was a community meeting. There was input from the community that went into it.
Not from this community?
Wrong.
Because it's a master plan. Most people don't realize that a master plan is going to affect you until they come in and they say, we're going to work on your street.
No, they didn't give us any notice. No, they did not give us any notice.
Because they don't do that for master plans. They just put it on the agenda.
And the city requires city manager did a research and admitted on record at the review.
It's a little safer on the other side. We're gonna get everybody
the neighbors had not received notice and had meaningful engagement.
I'm in charge of the trees.
That has nothing to do with the master plan. What she mentioned, the master plan, there was a public process, folks. If we're there at commission meetings and we're there at public meetings, I understand that people didn't go and people didn't know about it, but residents did, and there were plenty of residents there.
The residents did not know about it. I saw the commission meeting on the video because I looked at it 2 days ago.
Which one, about the master plan?
I've seen several of them. Yes,
About
the master plan in September 26,
So there was a public meeting.
September 26, 2014. You know who spoke at that meeting? All the bike enthusiasts and not one resident. Why would
Wait.
Let me finish speaking. Please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me.
But you just said I'm not a
Please don't
resident.
interrupt me.
Sylvia, I'm your neighbor. You know I'm a resident. Okay, but
Yeah, you didn't speak at that meeting. The residents weren't given notice of the master plan, and that was confirmed by the city manager on the record at the Riviera hearing, which is why the mayor and the commissioners took out the Riviera project from the entire plan and put it on hold. All we want is engagement. All we want is a voice.
No, you can have engagement, but you can't say that there was no public process for this plan.
Yes, I can, because
but it's not true.
I don't have to. The city manager said it.
I'm sorry.
I don't have to.
No, she said that they weren't notified. There's a difference.
I don't mean to stop the conversation. We're just, for safety reasons, we're going to move to the other side of the bridge.
Those are 8 foot
Did you catch me saying that bad word?
No, sir.
Let's edit that out, please.
Yes, I didn't get it.
So Country Club Prado has 8 foot sidewalks.
So why don't you do it there? Do the bike path there?
Yeah, so that's where my wife goes. She feels safer there, wider sidewalks. And so here, this is 25 feet, so we could actually remove 5 feet of the asphalt here and put an 8 foot sidewalk. And we're looking at putting a pedestrian bridge on this side.
You probably won't do it. They'll probably won't do it.
I'll call you. I have your number.
I told Robert, we're willing to put it in writing and guarantee you're not going to kill the
No, there's two scenarios.
Yes, it's just
What did you change your
always changed it. It's a different
Oh,
story.
yeah, nice.
Let me tell you,
Can't wait.
he's talking about 2014. The process was totally flawed. It was intentionally done. The Coral Gables master plan, the commission would have never voted for it, would have never approved taking this historic area and decimating it.
So a master plan is just showing a route, a connection. And so what we're experiencing right now, there's a lack of connection here. So to walk from your house to a park, like the new Betsy Allen Park, or even over to the billboard, like we're walking on roots and grass, and it's not safe. So
You have a connection on Red Road too. So
would you rather walk on the busy Red Road with the cars zipping by?
There's a bike path on Red Road.
We didn't spend the money on Red Road.
Huh?
We didn't spend the money on Red Road.
So good, you don't have to spend it anymore. It's there already.
So
You're done, you don't have to spend it.
So
It's great, it's free. It's there.
I have a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And
I've been riding bike here on 55. I used to go to St. Teresa bike ride, never been hit by a car. So this is the thing about that. That's not an excuse. That you're going to save kids.
No.
I'm worried about anything coming out of my house.
So well,
you know, I used to ride from North
Sorry,
Gables.
what's your name?
Rocky.
Rocky Bro. Nice to meet you.
I used to ride bike every day to school. My friends would ride bike everywhere in Calgary. I've been living here 55 years. Okay, I came when I was 11 months old.
Awesome.
I've never had an accident. A car never hit me.
Well, that's good because usually the
So
bike goes
now
down.
you can destroy plants and trees and green.
Well, no,
and then you're gonna make it more dangerous. That's my opinion.
That's the tree that we're removing. That's the only, that one and the dead one next to it. The only ones that are
No. If Coral Gables wants to put more trees, why don't you take the trees away? Okay. To me, it's a level of hypocrisy to the residents, because at the end,
Why
you guys
do you
are
think
going.
we're removing trees?
Huh? To make the path better for whatever you guys want to do.
So in this scenario, about 2 blocks down.
No, you're going to remove more because there's a lot in your way.
Well, no.
Yes, you are.
So
you say you're not now, but you're going to end up doing it.
So with asphalt, it has to be vehicle load, and so we have to dig down, put a gravel base into the asphalt. So widening it has a much bigger impact on the
we
roots.
need to add more cement, more asphalt, less green.
Where we have existing trees, the scenario that I prefer is to narrow the asphalt and remove that road base. That gives more soil for the trees. Then and
everywhere.
From here up to Coral Way so far,
You're going to split hairs on that. You're going to be cherry picked.
No. Once we get south, you know where there used to be coconuts south of. So there it's wide open. There we have flexibility. We can do any scenario there because they're either palms, which can be relocated, or newly planted
we're
trees.
talking here now.
So from here up to Coral Way, the existing trees, from a tree root standpoint, what I would prefer to see would narrow the fence to the 8 sidewalks on the sidewalk.
Yeah, the other side.
So I can.
Are we supposed to go on the other side?
We're in the park.
We just get to the other side.
I got to look at it, but I don't. It's not in writing from you guys. I don't believe it.
with the city?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
I'm with Coral Gables TV.
Oh.
At this moment. I should stop this.
¿Cuánto tiene? 25.9.
Do you want to cross back?
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
One yes and one no. So I don't know if it's husband and wife. One of them won. Yep. Well, one was listed at like 450, and one was listed at 417. Yeah. You know, this is kind of similar to our train or yard. It's kind of no man's land. You can't really go in front of them.
Yeah.
They're going to work it out. They're not going to
Right. I never thought they
I would not, yeah.
How are you? I guess I don't have to go back to Cuba, right? You heard him when he said.
Which is the light you said that was out on this side?
It's right near Bird Road, near our house. I'll show it to you when we get there.
You understand? So if they have an interest, if they have a mission, they will push it. If they don't have it, then they'll, like, I have a problem with a roundabout in the front of my house. Okay, I fought it and fought it.
Where ours? They run this way across. I think theirs must be coming.
I'm Cuban.
Ours goes
I said they had a committee. You know what that is? No. Are you Cuban?
What?
Are you Cuban? No, are you Cuban? No, stop interrogating me. Are you Cuban?
Yes or no?
Are you
say
Cuban?
Like
Are
that,
you
Pepper.
Are you Cuban?
You said it in front of
Are you Cuban?
It's none of your business what I am
Okay,
or
exactly.
not.
It's none of your business what I said.
What you said when you say somebody
I'm
go back
Cuban.
to, I don't care what
I was
you
born
are.
in Cuba.
Go back to Cuba.
You know
did say
what
it. You're
Cuba's
admitting
like?
you said
You know
that to
what
her.
Cuba is like?
So that's what you want.
That's what it's like.
Shame on you.
No, shame on you, because you're lying to people. Ay, la del comité. You're like the comité.
Hey guys,
la de la esquina.
if you're gonna argue, don't do it next to my.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry, buddy. Sorry about
He was the one that came to me.
Were we a family?
I didn't move from here. He was the one that came a little bit further.
It's not helping any situation. Okay? I mean, at this point, if you're coming up to people and screaming at them, how do you expect them to respond back to you?
You work for the city?
Yes, ma'am. Coral Gables TV.
Okay, I didn't know if you worked for news stations or where you were. I guess that truck there.
Okay, so let's go across the
You're not putting me on television,
No, sir. This is just being documented. It's
For
not going to
whom?
be aired. For the city.
For the city of Coral Gables?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you work for Coral Gables?
Yes, sir. I work for Coral Gables TV.
For Coral Gables TV? Is this going to...
It's not going to air on TV. It's just being documented.
Okay. Which side are you on?
I'm not allowed to say.
Nobody.
There's no way to get people are going to go on. No. I know. It's not. I mean,
So the plan that you passed out at the meeting has not changed?
That was a conceptual design.
Okay, but I mean for this area. So that's your latest plan for this? Okay.
Yeah,
The shared lane, right? The shared path.
the shared path, this pedestrian access would be only for pedestrians.
Yeah, if you have a picture of that, because I can't picture.
It's just basically you deflect out, approach the island, the meeting, and that deflection access and traffic calm in the middle, like it's
Try to slow people down.
yeah, and there's a race.
So we made it just on the other side of the bridge. I think I'll come back. Did they take their sign down?
We can move now.
We have the town. That's all we do.
Rocky. Rocky.
Back when I was a tree vigilante, we used to take all the signs to code enforcement for the city of Miami. How they told us to read.
Yes? Can you wait at my house? Let me ask you a question. Uh-huh.
So this is a tree they planted a new one, but this is where people, when they do the curve, that's when they found somebody died and they pulled her out.
Okay.
Remember that she said pulled her out this is the tree. So how is it? I already understand. I got the consultants told me what the proposal is for the bridge. What is the proposal here for sort of, because it's a curve, it's not straight, and you see there's a sharp curve over there, and there's one comment. What is it that you think? How is it going to work here? Because I understand the sidewalks. I have a pretty extensive property, so.
All right, well, we'll leave it. I mean, we can cut it up too.
So that's sort of that. And I have just so you know, Janet lives there.
Because
so when we have a blind spot when we're coming out, we can't see. I wait. I can see a car, but there's no way I'm going to see a biker in this area.
So did they show you the traffic calming?
Yes,
approaches?
over there at the bridge.
All right, so we've got it on this side too. Can you show her where the traffic calming is on the bridge?
Yeah, she did. She did.
On this side too?
Yes, I'm talking about here. The Red. I'm talking about the curve.
Okay, quite old enough, yeah.
Right, but this doesn't have a curve. My specific question is, how are you going to deal with the curve? Because we have blind spots where we don't see. There's no way I'm going to see a biker. I barely see cars. I have to stop, make sure, and there's a huge blind spot. So my question, how are you going to deal with that blind spot? So I don't kill multiple bikers. I live right here. Yeah. Well, not only me, but when my guests pull out, I have 3 kids. They all drive. We have a lot of, all my kids are teenagers and adults, so we have a lot of activities here. So my concern is, how am I going to see the bike? Because of the 2 curves. But how do you deal with the curve? Because like I said, the curve is still going to be there. Like, this is pretty, but this is a straight line.
No, yeah, this is going to be at the approach to the bridge.
Right.
So this is further to the
That I understood. This is sort of what maybe just to let you think about it, because this is my concern. And unfortunately, I just live here. So, and like I said, I have kids, adults, and they all drive, and sometimes I've got 20 cars here. And that's what I'm scared about.
So the reverse curve is a big concern.
Yeah.
It's a big concern, and it's a big concern for
everyone that
vehicles.
passes by.
Right, exactly. So we're going to slow down the traffic here.
When you finish here, I want to go over to my property.
So what are you going to do, slow down?
We're going to slow down the traffic.
But how do you deal with the curve, the visual?
Well, we can't unkink the road, right?
Right.
It's not gonna go anywhere. So when you're talking sight distances and engineering, it's all about speed and distance. The ability for me to react given a certain speed and distance. In this case, the fact that you have vehicles that are perhaps driving too fast, faster than they should, you have to slow them down.
How about the fast-going bikers, the ones that go really fast? You know, the what they call the spandex bikers.
Right.
And if they're flying down,
right. Well, the spandex bikers.
I won't be able to. But the point is that when I'm backing out, I won't be able to see them because they're flying, and they're on a bike path, and they have a false sense of security because they're on a bike path, and they're flying down. If it's a straight road, it's okay. You see them because I can see them from far away. But I've got a spandex one coming down here fast, and I'm following all the rules.
The spandex guy typically is not going to be driving. They're going to be on the
How many bikers do you expect are going to use this?
Well, I don't know. I can't tell you that.
Right, so maybe we have 0 bikers that are interested.
Well, you already have bikers.
How many?
You already have bikers. I can. That's a question that's come up a couple times, and I'm going to see if I can get that.
If there are no bikers that need any of this, why do we need this? I bike here, I don't need a bike path.
No, there's a bike path. The solution, actually, the solution is actual to the curve. You're right. You can't do anything. So the solution is to keep the bike path on the red road, which is a straight path. Yeah. So that's the other thing.
The problem is we're not talking about red road here. We're talking about.
No, but there's an alternative.
Yes.
But you have a close alternative.
And so the answer to that is I explained earlier that DOT built that sidewalk because they were required to do so as part of that project.
Built the lane.
The lane.
So it's unnecessary to have a second one right next to it.
Well, it's a different, the idea is to have a network in the city, right? And this is what we're directed to do by existing policy.
Red Road is along the city.
It's on the city's boundary, but I'm trying to tell you what the rationale is for doing what you did, okay? To provide safe. Right?
Then the red road one. Okay. And you think this curve one is going to be safer?
I think that you can do things here engineering wise to make it safe. Absolutely.
I think if we have,
we'll see the studies when they come out.
Can I ask you something to include for that bridge? Forget the bikes right now, just all of us as drivers. I think, and I don't know what they're called, those blinking lights that are always on in other areas to notify you that you're going into a dangerous.
Would you consider that?
I'm sorry, yeah.
You know those, I don't know what you call them.
They're illuminated.
Those that are always, but you know why? At night,
yeah,
people have coming towards me or going in, whatever, will eat that bridge. They've come, people, you know, it's forget the bicycles right now, forget what we're doing. I'm saying as a safety precaution on that bridge, we need those lights blinking at night. We need them, it's pitch dark.
Yeah, we have, they're solar powered too, so there's a lot of mitigation measures that we're
If you can jot that one down.
Yeah, I have it right here.
From my perspective, and I live right here, is people coming this way and coming really fast as they come around this curve here.
They come fast. I have had people pass me on that bridge.
Pass you?
Pass me, because I go, I'm not going 20, I'm going 15. Okay? Sometimes I've gone 12.
You should.
And they will pass me.
The idea is to start slowing them down here.
in advance. Can we go from?
Ready to walk?
We're here today.
I need a consultant with me.
Right now, I have to back out as far back as possible to see if there's any cars coming, okay? So the original plan that you all proposed was to take 3 feet from the swale, which would put me here. I'm looking at a tree. So what is the plans here, and where is my right-of-way?
Well, with the reduced lane width also, the center line of this travel lane is going to be further away from you. So
Why? Are these lanes, the 2 sides are different?
No, the center line is the same.
Okay.
But the travel lane width is less.
Right, but 2 feet you're taking from the street and 3 feet from the swale to make the bike path. Am I correct?
Yeah, but the
Okay.
center line of the travel lane is farther along.
Because the lane is narrower.
Because the lane.
I understand that, okay, but
So you seeing approaching traffic.
okay, so
is
you
gonna
come
be
here,
closer
you come
to-
here and tell me what you can see. Okay, because remember you're moved back here because of the swale takeover.
Right.
You can't.
You can't see.
So you're not going to see a biker. You have
Right. I have problems seeing cars coming over the bridge, okay? So this is definitely an area that you need to do a better review and assessment.
a safety study.
That's fine, yeah.
Because
I mean,
the line of sight is completely gone here.
because of the trees.
Whatever, okay? Whatever.
You can't take out the canopy. Look at the canopy. Look at this. You can't get rid of this.
It has nothing to do with the added pavement.
Okay.
Why on earth would you take out a tree?
So I don't.
No, by decreasing the thing 3 feet, it puts me closer here.
So then the tree's going to be blocking your view.
Exactly. Because I'm looking at a tree.
So we are looking at each and every single.
Okay. Now what about the shared? Where's my right of way here? Because you said there's 2 options. One is the reduced here, and one is the shared one. Is that also an option here? Yeah. Okay, so where's the shared thing?
It should be roughly on the wall.
Jesse, do you realize that?
From Gables Road.
It's not
They're gone.
It's in the
Every
house that I went to see, I had a difficult time backing out to get out. Every single house. We've actually had
Right, whatever. Yeah, but I have to maintain it. I have to maintain it. Okay, how come the
We'll
city
maintain the
doesn't
sidewalk.
maintain it? No, you don't maintain the sidewalk. No, you don't if it cracks, but you don't pressure clean it, you won't.
No.
You don't do any of that because my mom lives in Granada, she has a sidewalk.
That's a different story.
Okay.
You're supposed to broom sweep?
Mr. Santamaria, I have a question for you. The grant was for 600,000, right? That was for the first plan. Who's going to pay for all these different plans that we're proposing now?
We have an ongoing engagement with a consultant. This project will progress.
Where's the money going to come from? That's what I'm asking you. Don't tell me who's doing
The
it.
money will come from the city.
From the taxpayers. Okay. So the extra money will come from our pocket.
There's already budgeted amounts for the bicycle master plan. It's already been approved.
Okay. Well, it's approved if the neighbors want it. Remember Riviera?
You keep bringing up Riviera. We're not Riviera, Maria. We're here.
Well, but we're not handling. Look at the sign.
We're just trying to inform people. That's all we're trying to do.
But you're forgetting to tell people they're going to have that's correct. They will have.
Okay, we're going.
I'll have the dinosaur here. I should have that. You two are the young ones.
I know. Where'd you get that bus from?
This is Paul Gables.
It's a special bus he's got. Watch out behind you. Oh.
Have a party there. You want to see it quick? Yeah.
Can we take a police officer to help us get there?
Sure. Yeah, it is. Go ahead.
Jogging?
All right, whoever's supposed to be with Brooke, get with Brooke.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's one consultant. Okay. We've already addressed them. We need one at least to stay here, and we need consultant to go down there.
This is the hot key. Not in, no, this one right here. Not in terms of physical appearance, obviously, because I'm on it. This is we're strike team alpha.
I got it. We got it.
Janet Paris. Ask Janet Paris. She'll let you use her bathroom.
For the ladies.
Yes, yes.
For the ladies that are suffering.
I need to talk about this. Oh, good. I'm glad it's here. Hi, Juan.
The travel lane by 10 feet. So here the travel lane is, I'm assuming all on the border, it's about 12 feet. Yep. And so in both scenarios, we would narrow the travel lane of cars, the slowing, narrowing the travel lane slows down drivers. And so in one scenario, the bike lane scenario, which is the original one, we would come 10 feet from, does anyone have a tape measure? Yes.
What do you want? What do you want to measure?
So 15 feet from the right of way, from the center line.
Is this your house?
Alhambra. Yeah, no, yeah, please, if you would up there. Yeah, up there.
That's 15 feet?
Yeah, 15.
Okay, so here we would not do anything. We wouldn't want wait, yeah, striping for the bike lane. And so the edge of the bike lane,
You ready?
5 feet. Okay, so I'm gonna go 5 feet from the driveway. Okay, so this would be bike lane here. The other part is that a sidewalk that is 6 feet wide.
8 feet from the property.
From the property.
8 feet. No, 8.
Well, no, that's a separate option.
So all
And
these trees
we'll
would have to
explain
go.
that. So,
It's one or the other.
There we
No,
go.
you know it by me.
well, we work around all of that. So, the intent is that we do not
Who's doing the measuring?
have any.
Who's doing the measuring with the tree?
So, that's one option. The other option is that you would, from this right here where the edge of the road is, green space,
No, yeah, how to
5 feet. So your swale becomes 5 feet out here. So you get additional green space here.
Okay. And where's the bike lane?
Then it's at this point in time, it's called a shared use path. So the people who are walking and the people that are riding bikes share the space and it's be the same on both sides. But in fact, by your right of way line, but like I said, it doesn't have to be straight through. We work through all of this in order to avoid the trees.
So you have an 8. Hi, Juan. How are you? You have an 8-foot shared path.
I know.
And his property is here at the wall? What happens here?
So like
It's going to get thin and...
We work around all of it, and it's the fine engineering. It's all the fine engineering details. The consultants will handle it, but it is we want to avoid the trees. We also use different type of paving material that is tree friendly. It's called Adapave. And I think the consultants have been talking about that. We also can insert locations if we have to make it more narrow, pinch point. So there's, in each location, we develop a solution to make sure we don't do trees.
And there will be some sort of address the bridge. You're going to be doing construction.
Well, the schedule is on here.
I'm just giving you a picture of the whole project.
No me huele a mí.
So
No, ya tú estás volado.
we will be polling the community
Ya tú estás volado.
in January.
Okay.
And so,
Deja que venga next hurricane. No voy a prestarte el generator.
No lo prestaron.
how we are proceeding.
Oye, yo te compré el cosa ese.
And so we'll know the outcome of that poll by pretty much like the first or second week of March, because that we have to take the time to, tally it.
Now, the poll, if people do not respond, how will that be counted?
I have to remember how we actually, we have.
Because the one you did at university, if people do not respond, you counted it in favor, which I've never heard of in my life.
It's the sign, it's by the people that vote.
So all these changes are just to create the bike lane? Is that
It's to make it a complete street, and so it is to provide safe space for everyone who uses the right-of-way. So people that walk, people that bike, and of course to slow down the traffic.
So the two options for him would be a shared path or move 3 feet in.
No, he doesn't have, on this, because this is so wide right here, has no impact to the swale whatsoever.
So the bike path would go where?
It's on this side, right?
It would be out here.
The 5 feet, the bike path would go here?
It's on the right-hand side, not on the other side.
On both sides.
On both sides?
of the street.
On both sides you're going out.
We have to give for each direction, just like if you were driving a car, we have space for people who drive in each direction.
And that's going to be one of my main arguments, which I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but
well, we have a FAQ because a lot of people reference that and
we didn't
why,
find out about this until September.
why
O sea, lo
on this
cortaron
street,
antes,
why
que
not
es lo
go
inteligente,
there?
por supuesto.
And
Well, there is one on 57.
yeah, so there is a bike lane on 57th Avenue, and it's a good question that you asked. The city of Coral Gables was to create a family-friendly network. You wouldn't take your child or your grandmother to ride a bike on 57th Avenue. So we created a low-stress network so that people who aren't they wouldn't ride. So it's more of a to make it a more neighborhood. I would really appreciate you.
You're going to post the plans? But even the tentative plans, we expect people to vote on something they need to know.
In fact, it'll be a very nice package. It won't be just a single.
And you'll be able to see your property.
Do you remember Andino?
Richard Andino.
Oh my God, is he still alive?
By the way,
All right, we can move down.
realize you don't know who's coming from.
Bueno, I was actually friends with la otra, ¿cómo se llama la hermana? La puerta, no sé el puente,
Really?
Wait, could you have cocktails? Do you have cocktails for us?
Twice a day.
Yeah, lemonade.
But when you talk to him, make sure you give him my information, and we'll just go meet with him like we did with you. So at this location, we've talked about it. You've actually talked about it. So
At that time there was no plan.
okay, so well, there still is no plan, but what we can do is we can show you where everything will be. And so in the first concept that we talked about, which was the bike lanes, so we would go from the center of the road. Do we have a tape measure?
There you go.
Yep. How wide?
12.9.
Okay, so if we were to build the bike lane, the edge of the pavement would be like 15 feet. Yeah, so 15 feet.
Bike lane is how wide?
5 feet, from my foot to his foot.
Oh, okay. I thought it was less. Okay.
Okay?
So you would think.
Yes, that would become pavement. And then the
Hey, Jessica, one thing. With the bike lane that you're proposing,
is there any option of painting it green to blend into the aesthetics of?
We can always consider that. Yes.
Pardon me?
We can always consider that.
Because, you know, there's a green bike lane on Crandon Boulevard leading to Key Biscayne. It's beautiful. It blends into
I'll have to take a look at
the
it.
greenery. Number one. Number two, it also signals to drivers, that's green, I shouldn't be going there.
Yeah, we will. I'll get some pictures and we can show you.
Okay, because that might be a very good option.
Property line.
22
feet
from the
to the light.
With the light? With the lighting? So you would go in
20 feet from the edge of pavement?
but
Approximately.
that's what, the sidewalk?
Yeah, we're gonna show you the location. So that's 20 feet is right here, give or take.
Sidewalk.
So the back of the sidewalk.
That's the back of the sidewalk? But how far does the sidewalk?
8 feet. If it's
So you're taking all this?
no, that would be swale.
That would be grass. Well, no, this
Well,
is
here,
the driveway.
here's driveway.
From here to here would be the 8 foot.
Well, no. Wait,
That's option number
that's
2.
something big. So 6 feet.
And the shared thing?
Okay, yeah. So the sidewalk is now. If we did a shared use path.
Let's make sure you understand that the sidewalk, if the bike lane is out there, from here to there, it's a 6-foot sidewalk.
So all this would be grass
Or driveway. But it also extends how it does, here wouldn't extend, right?
Okay, so this is the 6-foot
Sidewalk.
sidewalk, and then where's the bike path?
The bike path is out there.
So
It's a
it's
bike,
not
it's a
even
bike
on-
lane, not a path, it's a bike lane.
So it's not even on, none of the swale will be affected?
No, in this location, yes, we did.
Okay, so how far would the bike lane?
Would be here?
Right.
Should be. How about the other side?
Well, we can do it. We can do it. So let's also show you the other option that
The shared?
Yeah, that we talked about. So in that scenario, how much? I know that. Okay, so in that, in the shared scenario, let's go right here.
Back for 8 feet, and I used to play in that house.
For 8 Okay, so do you want to see this?
The shared.
Okay, yeah, come on over here so it's better explained. So in this scenario, you get more grass. So the grass comes out here. And then the shared path here's the property line.
But why can't you do the shared closer to the?
That is possible.
Because why do you have to go all the way in there?
That is possible. We have certain minimum.
Because you could build a shared next to those trees.
And we can work. Well, it would be a total of 6 feet. You get 2 extra feet over here. And then you get, so it's a total of 6 feet. You get.
Once you break.
So anyway, we will work.
You can build a shared. Worst case scenario, build a shared.
And so that's so we can work.
Are you taking off?
Okay, we're gonna go to the next one.
But did you go to, porque fuiste allá en calle 8, ¿no?
Yes, right back.
Yeah, because that's going to be a trek if you walk back. Yeah, but I mean, I walked through. But you're right, it's a trek, it's not
Well, my son went to school with Pablo's son.
So,
This is the one I was concerned about cutting down. Be a travesty. You don't want to cut down?
Okay, well, we won't cut it down then.
That's a good answer. I like that.
We're not gonna cut it down. There's room.
There's a lot of interesting information. You have no intent of cutting down any trees.
Oh, that's right.
So, any tree that is now,
This tree
absolutely. No worries. So there's a and just can someone take email address?
Oh no, I know about that.
Oh, so you're.
We are the design.
I put up the signs. Do not cut the trees or the roots or the pruning. That's what I care about the most, and safety. But that's really, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the project has two options here. So one option is the bike path. So you would have, I'm going to take measures.
It's that time where I have to go.
Maybe they hear. Maybe when they're direct.
Because I think she has. So they said they're around.
Alright, I'll get the tape measure. The edge of the pavement. Then, the other option, the edge, keep it there. The edge of the pavement would be here. So you and do you guys have the, and so this is a very special indication because of this tree. Well, because of this tree, the special attention that we have to give. Would be behind 25 feet from the edge of pavement is the property line. Sidewalk would be behind that.
First storm, it will go. I came to your house and I gave you a paper, right?
It will be a travesty to destroy these roots and kill this tree. That's the side effect.
Look at where your property right away is. That's like my house. It takes up half my house.
Here this way
Travesty.
is private, public right of way. Here that way is private property. I think
Right,
you
which
have
is
a
where
wall
her
right-
little thing is. Her.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you have a wall right there. That coincides with the property.
Will destroy the look of it. The plants and trees, everything will destroy
So you have the first option where the bike lane is on the street. You would have a 6-foot sidewalk there. But everything here is not the landscaping. In my house.
So that's where I think it's important. We would work with each property owner to make fine adjustments to meet their needs. Okay, thank you for coming out.
Did you explain to her the 8-foot?
Huh? Yes, I told her that the green space extends further out this way than the other options.
No, the sidewalk. There'd be an 8-foot sidewalk.
Yeah.
For the shared use, right?
Yeah, I explained
are 6 foot and a bike path, right?
Excuse me?
I can't drink. I'm not going to be skinny. So you know what? I'm going to eat everything that I didn't eat when I had to maintain myself. And then when is I didn't breast? Did you breastfeed your first one?
You have to obviously replace any canopy that is impacted.
No, it's yeah, and so far there haven't been any trees that we seem to be impacted. I did find a dead tree over by the bridge that we're going to remove. Well, that's a big cavity, but that has nothing to do with the project. Sorry, how about around 10 years ago?
Really?
So we have two scenarios. One is basically 30 feet of asphalt with bike lanes striped and 6 foot sidewalk on each side. The other scenario is 20 feet of asphalt. We remove asphalt, make the street narrower, and then we go with 2 8-foot multi-use paths, which is basically an 8-foot sidewalk. It's 8 foot concrete. So not from the right of way. And that can meander around the trees or it can be straight. And the good news is we have young trees here, so if they're in the way, we can just relocate them more centered to the swale. And same with the palms. The palms and the young trees, really easy to relocate. The bigger ones, like the one that we just encountered just on the other side of Bird Road, we'll have to bring the sidewalk out to the edge of the road. Let's get out so that we can avoid the roof sidewalk. So with the 8-foot multi-use path, it's pedestrian loading, so we don't have to have a foot gravel base like we do for asphalt. So it gives us a good here, we're unique in that we don't have so this section here, when I went to the widened a little bit, because I think it's probably about 25 to 27 feet here, so it's widened to 30 feet, and then we do regular side, or we could narrow it here.
That the pole will go down the side street, so we should be seeing something asking
And did you get the contact info for the site? No. Here, I can send you an email. What page for the project? Yeah.
Well, you know, you create. Yeah. Because if you make it too small, then we're going to fly through with nothing. So normally what you do is that you create that little platform that is paved in the middle, so that which is uncomfortable for most cars, but the emergency vehicles, which tend to be larger, they can just roll over and go. And that's the sweet spot in a way.
They build enough surface to build enough.
Right. Right. Have we measured this street? How wide it is? Yeah. 12 and a half, so 25. Where? It depends. That depends. Depending on your geometry, you may have to put yields or stop signs on certain. Depending on the geometry. Yeah, and that's actually also another county generated thing.
I feel bad because we have a street sign in front of our house.
I know.
You know, we're okay with
It's perfectly lined up with a trace, so it doesn't really matter. And it's real good when you're using Uber, you just say right after the yellow sign.
We got a step No, I don't have it. I'm just messing around. But you're absolutely right. I was wrong. There you go. My foot. Bye bye.
I know, I can tell if I lay down on it, I would angle.
Okay. Right. Well, it depends. 8, then if it's 8 feet, then we narrow the pavement and we're done. If we widen the pavement, then 6.
Which is plenty big.
Which is plenty big.
Just walk.
And, no, let's just say we're doing the one that just put the bike in the street. They're on the sidewalk. We're not gonna touch them. Yeah. No, like in a case like this, the sidewalks are already here. We may not necessarily touch them. Just because you want to add an extra foot to it. I mean, not really. Those are 5 feet. Those are 5 feet.
Well, that's presuming you do the option. That's the 6-foot sidewalk with the widened.
Correct. Correct.
There's a heavy concrete option.
No, that will actually be the one. Well,
no, that's the one that has the most.
Yes. You're right.
You're adding to the street width and adding 6 feet of sidewalk.
Correct. Well, it depends on the existing width of the road, though. So some areas are wider than others. So that's really the driving.
Would the bike lanes be fully dedicated, like painted green, no car could touch them? What's the plan there?
That needs to be worked out. I don't know. They don't have to be.
If you're just widening the street.
No, but they'll go get a ticket if they do.
Well, there'll definitely be lines.
Absolutely.
It's a different lane.
You know,
just
whether.
like Red Road. Well, I know, but at least you can see where it is.
Exactly, just like the Red Road 500.
Yeah, the one on Red Road, that one.
I was asking for if one of the traffic circles.
Right.
I just want to say that I'm in complete disagreement. There's a bike path one block around 57 I think it would be complete waste of money.
Are you familiar with that corridor? It's a very.
I'm familiar with this corridor because I can look out the window all the time, and when people do come biking here, they bike in huge groups. They're not going to bike in a single file lane in a bike lane. I really believe it's a waste of money. Just put in all these trees. You just landscape that park.
Yes.
That will all be changed. The property values are going to go down. The look of the neighborhood's going to change. I think it's a complete waste of money, and I would prefer that you spend the money on things like fixing the garbage pickup situation that we had, where my recycling hasn't been picked up in 5 weeks.
Working on that as well, but there's a bike network master plan that was passed and it showed, bicycling being part of the corridor here. It was approved by council, something we're moving forward with. Are you familiar with the bike lanes on Alhambra further north?
Yeah, no one uses them.
Okay, are you familiar with the
ones that are full color? No one uses them.
The underline, underneath the metro rail.
That, I see a couple of people use it, but the big groups of bikes, they don't use them.
This is intended to connect both of that, and the idea is to expand and interconnect the bike network so that now it's a viable option for people to do things, to go to work, to get to the house.
I don't believe that changing the look of this neighborhood is going to fix the parking problem.
And we're not looking to change the look.
That is a problem due to overdevelopment. It has nothing to do with the people that live here, because I didn't get to vote on that.
We are going to try to reduce or minimize or eliminate any impacts to trees and canopies. We're not going to be, we're not looking to change the look or the feel.
It is going to change. It's going to change the character of it, and that beautiful part that you just put in is going to change. I truly believe that something needs to be done with the speed in this neighborhood. Put up flashing signs, letting people know that the park is there. But the bike lane is not going to work. It's not. I'm here. I see the groups of people when they cycle. They don't cycle in a single file lane. They will never do so.
So let me talk a little bit about the traffic calming. You mentioned about that as part of the plan. We're going to be reducing the travel vehicles to 12 to 10 feet. That's going to give a more constricted feel to the corridor. Plus, we're going to
make it harder for me to get out of my driveway every single day.
We're going to be proposing traffic circles at several intersections. I'm not saying all of them, but it's all going to be in an effort to try to help people or make people reduce their speed as they're coming.
I'm fine with the traffic circles, even though no one in this town knows how to use them. I'm fine with them because I do think that we need that when we have so many little kids there. But no one is going to use the bike lane the way you were intending it to. So it is a waste of money. And that's how I feel, and I hope that I'm able to.
So there's two options, right? Let's see how you feel about the other option. There's either reducing the bike lanes, the vehicle lanes from 12 to 10 feet, and expanding the road width, the the asphalt width by another 2 feet in order to accommodate the on-street bike.
So those trees you just put in.
Two options here.
So
all those trees you just put in that have not even taken root yet will all be moved?
No. And so the right of way,
Because
actually.
that would be another huge waste.
See the wall and
Right.
that is what this delineates the public right of way from. So we have room to meander in order to minimize or avoid impacts to the trees.
I think the trees are going to be affected. I think my ability to get in and out of my house is going to be affected. And I know you have your job and that you have what you need to say, but I think nothing's going to change your mind.
There's two options.
Strongly about this.
Maybe this will help. One option is the on-street bike lanes that you discussed. The other one is not impacting even the swales, but introducing a wider sidewalk where it's going to be 8 foot wide. That is going to be for bicycles and pedestrians. Is that something?
They're not going to use it. I've lived here for 18 years.
You don't
They're
see
not
any
going to
bicycle
use it.
pedestrian traffic?
I see a couple of moms and dads and grandparents go to the park. A lot of them park in this neighborhood, in this empty lot. They don't even really walk there.
And that's going to be an attraction for people, and they're going to come from further down the street.
And I love that park, and I was really disappointed when it was closed for a whole year because they didn't do the gates the right way. So that was another waste of money. So all I can see as a homeowner and a taxpayer is my money being wasted. That was $50,000 that had to be completely removed and close the park for a year. That was a big waste. I strongly believe that any work that you do here is going to end up the same way.
Again, I appreciate your thoughts, Public Works. Can I ask you, just for your information, name, address, and...
I thought with this plan you were narrowing the road. Yes. And you were going to have bike lanes on either side, so that was going to go into the swale.
Well,
How is
right,
this
exactly.
one not
Exactly.
using the swale?
Because what we were doing is you need 30 feet of pavement in order to put in the bike lane adjacent to the track. And so you still get 2 10-foot lanes and you have 5 foot on either side. In this scenario, because this is so wide, to get it to you have to come in to get it to the
You're gaining swale in the sense that it's narrower, but you're increasing.
Well, but you're losing paved area in the street, you're just putting it back on the sidewalk.
It's 2 lost up the street on each side, so 4 total, and then 16 added. So you're netting out an additional 12 feet.
So, but in reality, there should be sidewalks in the street. You go across Blue Road, there's sidewalks are there.
Yeah, this is a segment.
Those are all the ones.
Right. This is, I would be for 4 foot.
8 foot sidewalk.
Yeah, it's enough if somebody's walking to get by on a bike and not in a road.
Right. So the standard sidewalk width is 6 feet, and that allows you to
Yes.
and also walk side by side.
Up to this point. Up to that.
So what happened when there was a lot of talk?
Yeah, so again,
Our project.
We're adding traffic calming elements to each approach to the bridge, and also considering some additional bridge. So you have the pedestrians on one side.
There's a couple options.
On both sides. No, over the canal. So there's a pedestrian bridge on one side.
Over the deck.
Over that bridge.
Every time I cross on the way to work, something else.
So there would be a bridge on the other side. All right.
When will this be decided?
Well, we will be polling the area in January. And so property owners have to return the ballots. Of course, we need a couple of weeks to go through all the ballots and validate them, make sure that.
And then also reducing this to
No, it's Alhambra Circle to 57th Avenue and 1 block. This is a collector road and it impacts it. It's really cool.
This is today, we'll extend.
Okay, we're gonna walk on.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, let's not allow.
Typically the sidewalk would be on the property line.
Hey, let's not allow.
Good.
Alright, who was team 1? I was team 1.
I'm team 2.
Mr. In the Weeds,
Yeah.
team 2.
Brooke.
Brooke is team 2. And you guys, who was on team 2, go meet with Brooke. Drag him over this way. We're gonna do what we had planned to do. Wait, let me finish. We're gonna do what we had planned to do, which is to leapfrog one another.
Right.
Section by section, point by point. If not,
we're never gonna end
Never
it.
getting out of here. Yeah. So.
Who's team 1?
So it does originate from the property line.
Yeah.
How far is it going to go out? Like, oh my God. And then we're going to go out here?
No.
You need this 8 feet?
No. We are going to go from here to here.
No.
It's 2
10
inches.
inches.
2 inches
No.
in.
2 feet. 2 feet.
Sorry, 2 feet in.
So, right.
Because you're
So,
doing an 8-foot sidewalk?
So 8 foot.
Why do you have to do an 8-foot sidewalk?
Oh, well, it's a shared use path so that people can walk and ride their bikes on.
It totally destroys the concept.
And so then the
it's
2
a
feet
residential
out
street.
there.
It totally destroys our street. I'm very, very opposed to it. I couldn't be more opposed to it.
Okay. And you will have the opportunity to
When
pass
I rode Mr. Santa Maria, the city, I'm sorry, I just get shaky. I'm so upset about it. They plant all these mahoganies, they root up beautiful coconuts.
Do you have any more questions about in front of your? I want to make sure I give you everything that you need to know.
Anyway,
We can start walking.
I sent something, I want to tell you about this. I sent Mr. Santa
Katie,
Maria
you're going to have to
something
walk
from
with her. She won't talk to
Extension
you.
Service. These
She'll
are
walk
great
away from you.
street trees. If there are no sidewalks.
You want to walk down to your house?
Yes, I do, but I want people to hear that.
They're coming with us.
These are very shallow rooted trees. They're very aggressive. How long is it going to take before they uproot those?
Well, so we have our landscape.
Yeah, I
You
know
need
all
an
about
arborist.
landscaping. You don't have to tell me.
You need an arborist, not a landscape architect.
Yeah, we have arborists. We have 3 arborists in the city.
Where is she?
Well, she's probably.
That should be the one talking about.
Right here.
Okay, so here in front of your house, right now you have 5-foot sidewalk.
That's more than enough.
And in the shared use path concept.
In other words,
It's
you're
go to
paving
here.
over our whole square.
Okay, so
And where are people supposed to park their cars?
all right, so here I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you. Okay.
Please do.
So the shared use path comes out here, which is 8 feet, and then over here. Swale right. Well, probably about 17 feet. So in this scenario, you can let it go. The swale would come out, so you get green space over on this side.
Well, I honestly don't object to the bike paths. I do object to sidewalks. I walk all the time. I walk at least 3 miles every day. I never walk on a sidewalk. You know why? Because they're dangerous. And if somebody falls down, you can see this is a 90-year-old sidewalk that is just in pieces. And I pick up the pieces and from time to time and try to keep from tripping over it myself. So I fell. I had a really bad fall, smack on the grass. If I had fallen on the sidewalk, the emergency people would have picked me up in pieces. You know, people talk about, oh, how safe the sidewalks. I work here all the time. I'm the gardener. And there are people that are lying down here. They're not looking where they're going. They're going 60 miles an hour. I thought one day I was going to get run over by somebody.
So that part of the project is when we make this road travel lane more narrow.
Yeah, good luck with it going slowly. You know what would make it go slowly? If they got ticketed. Nobody gets ticketed. We don't need to have
somebody here every day. You need to have somebody here at different times. They'll get a few tickets and they'll say, oh, well, you can't go 60 miles an hour down. I'm here all the time. I'm working all the time. And I see how fast people go. I do not want people looking right in my window. It is very close to our house. And then we're going to have to cut back all the planting here. I'm going to lose it. And furthermore...
no, they're not touching anything on your property.
No, how about all this little...
Well, technically, that should be done now.
I know, but I'm not doing it. And I have this blocked off so people don't walk here.
And that's...
I had this thing with the city before. You know what? Hello. I had this thing with the city before. They came up, some thugs, some goons. When Mr. Sleznick was the mayor. And they said, there's whatever that triangle of distance or whatever. He said, we've got to cut down your wall. Because it's higher. Like you have to have a 3 feet high wall. And I said, no, this
part of the team needs to go.
Brooke.
This is a historic. This is a historic wall. You can't touch it.
We are not.
So I said, the guy, he's coming down. He said, I said, I'll prune something. I'll prune what I have to do. And he said, well, wait, the sidewalk doesn't go anywhere. So I said, why would I have to prune this? Just listen to me, for Christ's sake. I pay a lot of money. I want you to listen to me. I said, why would I prune all that back? Then people will walk there and it's dangerous. Why don't I cover it up? Furthermore, people come and steal our fruit all the time. Since we have the park here, people come, not just from pick up fruit that's fallen on the ground. I'm sorry, I just am shaking. I get so upset. And they come in and they walk into our property and fill up their little kids' wagons with our fruit. That's what you get with more traffic. I don't want more traffic.
I have a question, Jessica.
Did I make my point?
Thank you.
For purposes of parking, I obviously, especially since I've been parking, very little space on the obvious side. What would I do? You know, all these parking spots that I have now, is it gone? I lose it? I'm getting ticketed if my parents come over and park the car? I mean,
No, I mean, you still have plenty of width.
what will be the space between the actual cement that's in the street and the...
Well, we're talking about it.
Right, so here we're talking
about Indian mangoes.
Well, yes, I love mangoes.
And this year,
How you doing? How you doing?
Right now, this is the only park I have when people come up.
Well, it's the same as over there, except 17, right?
Right.
Okay. And so then you've got 8 minus 8 feet, so you're 9 feet, add 2, 11, which is still wider than.
And there would be
Well.
That's conservative. People are park
So long as you aren't blocking
this or the street.
right. And technically, so long as you aren't blocking traffic, you don't get ticketed.
Just curious, what's length of like an SUV? I'm just trying to, for me, I'm just being very pragmatic.
Nope, I understand.
So this is 15.
Uh-huh.
So this guy would have to park not nosing.
On an angle. Yeah. Here.
Yeah, she said that.
The Commission resolution is to put 6-foot sidewalks on the collector roads, and so that we've been charged by the commission.
But the commission will hear the residents, the taxpayers, like they did in Riviera, and if you don't want it, the commission will not force you to do it. So and if you don't believe it, talk to the mayor and the city manager. They'll tell you that.
So those are the two scenarios where
That's okay. Where would you like to go?
And so right now, those are and so we had a meeting at the youth center a couple weeks ago, and now we're doing this to walk through to meet with the president along the way to get because further north there's a lot of insurance issues that we need to work around.
It's not easy. It's not like crazy. And as I said before, you know, there's some mahogany trees. Roots go out. Just enough.
Do you have a copy of the green flyer when you're walking? Sorry, I just didn't get a copy. Okay.
We sent it to you in the email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you're
So we're off of, we're 2 streets north.
polling area is Alhambra, 57th Avenue, and 1 block in that direction.
Okay, so we'll be part of
Yes.
that. Okay.
And so, were you guys at the community meeting?
No.
Oh, okay, so here. How did you find out about today?
I'm friends with Brooke.
Oh. So you were at the shindig.
Yep.
Everyone seems to be in good shape. Okay, wonderful.
Okay, and then here we've got FAQs, I guess.
Yeah, cool.
And so there's 2 concepts being considered. There's traditional bike lanes, so the roadway we have 2 10-foot travel lanes, and then 5-foot bike lanes. In the other concept that recently came up, so we're going to talk about with people who are concerned, is that we can actually increase the swale here about 2.5 feet wide. And then we would have an 8-foot wide shared use path on both sides.
Readjusted.
It's, my opinion is it's safer.
Yeah. Oh man, the
It's
bike lanes.
family friendly.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yes.
that is, I ride with my son, but
I wouldn't want to run on a bike lane. I wouldn't want to run on a bike path.
Yeah,
People on their phones and stuff. Like, what's with you?
yeah, and I've been riding with him since he was 5. So he's like a fearless rider. I've had to teach him to be that way.
Yeah.
But it's not the way I
No.
want it to be.
And even the girls go to Sunset Elementary, and we see a family ride their bikes every day from Sunset to our house.
Really?
Yes. Just a mother with a baby in the back of the and a little girl, probably 7 years old,
Really?
5, 6 years old. So, yes, but it's surprising, every day. That's how they go.
And they're doing it in Russia.
Yeah,
I would.
No way.
I mean, my son, we do like school day once a year, but we have a full bag of people that but if you had any other questions, you will, and that will be in January. You'll be mailed with a certified mail.
Oh really? It's not going to be polling places.
No, I guess it's your home.
And we choose what option?
No, we will. Ultimately, we're going to, based on everybody's feedback, present a single option. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
For the information.
So we're in our family.
Okay.
So we've got 2 houses right here.
Well, you'll get 2.
Okay, I'll take a look.
Pay double taxes.
It's very good. All right.
What's the options are?
One, I'm wondering why it's costing $680 million.
No, it's up. The budget, I'd have to check on the budget.
But everybody, everybody says, oh yeah, we got this federal grant. we are up to our ears in debt in the federal, with the federal thing. Why are we spending and spending and spending? I don't care if it's a grant or where it comes from, if it's a taxpayer. Give us a break once in a while. The city just spends and spends and spends and spends.
So just to bring them up to speed, we have two different options.
He knows.
And so the option one, so we have about 25 feet of pavement. So option one is to widen it to 30 feet, stripe it with 5-foot bike lanes, and have a 6-foot sidewalk on both sides. Because the commission passed a resolution mandating that we put sidewalks on collective, which are Alhambra, University, Riviera, Alhambra, Riviera, University, I think Blue too. So that's option one. Option two is that we narrow the road to 20 feet, we only need 20-foot or 10-foot driveway, 20 feet. And if we widen the sidewalk to 8 feet, it becomes a multi-use path. Yes. So we have two 8-foot multi-use paths, but they basically look like sidewalks. From the north, we have a so in those cases, the sidewalk is actually get 2.5 feet because they're having the sidewalk. And so, but that gives you the most space. 8-foot multi-use path, which is 8-foot sidewalk, 20-foot roadway, so that narrows the road, slows down traffic, swale, and then another 8-foot sidewalk multi-use path. We're also looking at doing traffic circles, traffic calming, and safety purposes. And looking at putting a pedestrian bridge on the east side, sidewalk connecting. So that's what we're doing. So we had a public meeting a couple of weeks ago at the youth center to kind of kick off the project and get feedback. And now we're doing a full day Saturday walking to walk it so we can actually engage with the residents on some of the vulnerable properties to actually see it better. So right now we don't have a construction drawing. We just have a couple diagrams and perspectives to give people an idea of what it looks like, and then soliciting feedback. And I can email you the website if you want, if you don't have it. And then if you have any questions or why is it necessary to have so
alternate. So you can go down on the west side and then cross over on the east.
Why do we have to have any of this? You can go one block over and there is the bike path and there are sidewalks. So anybody who wants to walk to the store is not going to walk up here with all the traffic. They are going to walk on the sidewalk. Talking to myself, I'm talking to myself.
Sorry, I'm getting it. Side gives that the capacity for pedestrians. So that 8 feet and then narrow roads and then 8 feet, then that's a safe street section for people to circulate, to be able to walk to the park that we built, to be able to walk to the grocery store, UM, all of the, and just around the neighborhood. So
you know
right
how you do that? You walk one block over, walk right up Red Road, and it takes you right to the shopping center. And so you've got to walk over there anyway. So you walk over here, you get on Red Road, you go up there, and you land right in the shopping center. If you want to go to South Miami, you turn left, and you go right down the sidewalk. Why do we need a bike path here, a bike path there, and sidewalks here? Just to spend money?
So the city has a parks master plan where we are trying to get a neighborhood park with a 5-minute walk every residential area in the city. So we're currently under construction on 5 neighborhood parks. That'll be done in mid-January.
Yeah, but that's changing the city.
No. I'm explaining why. So this park you just mentioned, and so we have a park. I wanted to ask him. And so we need to create connectivity with the sidewalk. So for the last few years, there's been a reoccurring fund to connect the sidewalks that they work. I don't know if you see the sidewalk line, you have to go through the grass, up the road, go through grass, with a bench or a bike or whatever, for a wheelchair or walker. It's really dangerous. So we connected all of those to be able to, like, if there's a sidewalk here and here, you have to go through the rest of it. So we've been doing that for the last 6 months. And so the commission passed a resolution to put the connector roads, sidewalks on one here. And so what that allows us to do is create some north-south, right now you got 12 foot red road. So with those, that gives safe, we're on our busy streets, the collector road is on its way as well.
So you intend to do this on every single parallel street on Granada?
It's Granada, Riviera, Alhambra, University, and
Riviera.
I want to be there. I don't want to be on camera.
That was further south.
Okay. I won't get you if you don't want to be on camera.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I want to hear what's going on because I live there and we have some questions for the gentleman.
Okay. As soon as you go and start asking questions, I'll move on.
Right, I do. I want to go in. Yeah. So I would like to go in, but
Is that one out like home first down the street, every single one?
Where's your office?
Right off Alhambra. 355.
So are you a gang?
Yeah.
Careful, folks. Careful. Careful.
I figured if I walked, I would have knew more how
I get my pants with it.
Come down here and talk to this guy.
Okay, let me grab the team and we'll be right down.
Where were you? In front of my house?
Where's your house?
4924 Alhambra Circle. You passed by and I said
I passed 4924.
Hello.
Alhambra Circle. We'll
You
go
did
back.
not ask me permission for that. You didn't ask me permission for that. I don't want to be in any news.
Okay. No, you're not going to be on any news.
Okay, or any files.
Oh, absolutely. So there is there's two things going on. One, the city commission approved for the installation of sidewalks in Collector Street. This is the Collector Street. That's not really so much of an issue here. You have a sidewalk already, but there's portions of the corridor that do not. In addition to that, in 2014, there was a citywide master plan that the commission approved to include bike lanes in certain streets, and this is one of them. So now we are in the process, the early process of looking into how we're going to implement that.
That's going to be tough.
So so there are two options that we're looking at, and at the end of the day, certain areas may end up being a mixture of both. One option, and in this case, the sidewalks are already here. You only need 20 feet of pavement. Technically, you have almost 27. So we have to widen the road about 1.5 feet on each side, and you end up with two 10-foot travel lanes and 5-foot bike lanes. In areas where you have trees, we may narrow that. There could be 4 feet, it is. There is a big thing where the idea is to create all sorts of multimodal forms of transportation. You know, obviously the streets, there's no more space to add more cars. People keep moving into the city. It is healthier, I guess, in a way. I'm not personally a biker, but it is definitely safer for
No, but
them.
this street now is a parallel street to Red Road.
Correct.
I mean, certainly I'm in favor of anything that would soften that.
Right.
Typical homeowner. But you know, I've got the backyard with Amaro, and I got this on the front, and it's bad enough. That's all right. I know that. But this one was never as bad as it is now.
And unfortunately, there's, you know, public transportation being what it is. People keep moving into this county. I think I read somewhere that over 200 and something people have moved into this county net over the last 5 years. So we don't have any more space to put cars. So the more people that are biking, the less cars you're going to have on the road.
Yeah, I just don't see that much, and I'm sitting here
and
quite frequently.
You know, we had a public hearing a few weeks ago, and there was even, I think we found an advertisement for a self-guided bicycle tour on Alhambra Circle, going back to the 70s. So, and I don't know.
Anyhow, I know what the issue is.
Right.
But, so, okay, thank you very much.
Not a problem.
All right.
Thank you.
So, what I was just pointing out to Carlos. So we have like 27 feet roughly here. So if we're widening the asphalt 1.5 feet on each side, we basically have to cut 2 feet in to do, because you need 6 inches across. So we're coming 2 feet here. I have to cut all these roots here because you have to go down a foot to do road rock, and that's not really good. This is just my tree opinion. This is over here. We have a 6-foot sidewalk. We have a great big roof. The sidewalk, I can ramp up and I can ramp down. I also don't need to cut any roots because we just use compacted and the root stays. And if, like down there where the roots are really close, or here, if this comes up and over, if we want to go 2 feet, we can do adipate with the roots. And so we can maintain an 8-foot width, an 8-foot sidewalk, and go up and down and kind of curve over the roots. You need like 2 or 3 inches. And so, what you can do, but the sidewalk can go up and down because you can't do it. And the road, you have to keep it. I was smart level on the wagon, but that looks like it's got about 3 or 4% cross pitch. So you could lift the road a little bit to minimize going down, but you can see the roots are going here. So if you're coming back into here, and particularly like this big tree here, if you're coming back on that ledge hill here and cutting all those roots, that's detrimental to the tree. But if you go over here, we ramp up over and we adipate, as long as we stay at the 5% property, that's much better for the trees. So,
How do you think that would work? If we do go up into the view, it's obviously
well, no, it goes, so say here, so say your highest one is right here. It already is.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You only need like maybe a 0.5% cross pitch because it's going to go down that way. Because you've got a 3 or 4% pitch this way. And then once it gets back to the driveway, it goes back up to the street. So. Here, but see, you come up and over. So if there's no drainage issues, we may even be able to come up a little bit higher, or just it just pinches at the trees. And then when you get here, you come back out. We've got drainage going this way. And so as long as we're not grading, there's not a sidewalk connection to the house that we're, or a driveway. But if we go down and meet the driveways, we'll go over the trees. And the trees usually aren't right at the driveways. So that, and then we can, in this case, if we can't do anything with the roots, it just narrows here and then comes back out to 8 feet, and then goes back out to 6 feet. When it's working around big existing trees, you have to do that easily, or meander it a little bit where it's further north where we have more space. Yeah, this you can't touch it. So if you have a clean root like this, you can cut it, but you can't shave the roots. That's bad for the tree. And so that's the issue here. You wouldn't want to cut some of these small roots here that are scarred, but you would not be able to go, you can't cut those. That would destabilize the tree. So unless you can raise the road or add the dimension on that side, then to get to 30 feet, yeah, so that's where it's like, so that's the challenge here. So, and here you've got all these roots too. So the flexibility of the 8-foot wide sidewalk, the multi-use path, is that you go up and down, curve it, and you don't need the rock base. You just put welded wire fabrics and the full rebar in there, reinforce it so that when you get cracks like this, that has no metal in it, so you get the setup. But if you've got the mesh and the rebar in there, then it both move together. It might crack, but it's going to stay together. And then we use the Adapave to go over roots, and we're able to keep the division. A scallop or a little cutout. And if it's really that scenario, you could just do a section of Adapave too. Like if it's just like you can't, concrete's not going to work, they do that all over the place. But you just, that section by the tree, it's just Adapave.